open with this. I'm glad this wasn't. We're not shooting on Tuesday, Mo. That's all I'm saying. Craig has time to breathe a little bit because we got to go into this first topic. So anyway, how was everybody's week? All right. So Craig. So the NCAA championship was on Monday. And Carolina was up. They were up. I'm gonna start this out with you. I know. Oh man. All right, what we're gonna discuss the championship, the NCAA championship. But I'm gonna ask you, Craig, what are your thoughts on the game?
I mean, it was a good game. Obviously not the outcome that I wanted to see. Obviously, when they were up 15, I still didn't think the game was over because I saw 25 points, or I saw a 25-point lead just go like that in 10 minutes. So even up by 15, I just figured. I figured they were undefeated when leading that by double-digit points at the half in the tournament. They were like 46-0 or something like that, 40-something and 0. So I figured, I mean, they still should win the game, even if Kansas makes a comeback, whatever. So obviously, yeah, I knew Kansas was going to go on a run again. You know, they're not a number one seed for no reason. So they went on a run. They came back, took the lead. They went up by 6. Eventually, I think through the first 10 minutes, they outscored Carolina 31-10. It just wasn't the same team on either side. Kansas was a different team, and Carolina was a different team. Started the second half. Then Carolina was down 6, and then they came back and took the lead and kept going back and forth. And eventually, at the end of the game, I thought the last possession of the game, at least, it was clearly a bad possession. They had 2 shots, and they missed both of them. They seemed like they rushed both shots. I guess they were trying to catch them off guard. To me, it was like you can't get a quick 2 because you didn't need a 3 at the time, even though you were down 3. Get a quick 2 and then play time possession, foul them, put them on the line, whatever you have to do. But Love rushed his shot, then Johnson rushed his shot, and then Manning threw the ball out of bounds, and then it was just like that was pretty much it. I mean, they had another chance at it. I didn't even watch the last possession because at that point I just figured the game was over, and I was pissed off, and I turned the TV off because you're down by 3 with like 4 seconds left. All they got to do is inbound the ball, hit a free throw 1, and the game's over anyway. So, but then I looked at the phone and said Caleb Love had a chance to tie the game, and I don't know how far away the 3 was. It might have been from half court. I have no clue, but I didn't even watch it. So, it's just disappointing that they blew that lead. Disappointing that Baycott got hurt at the last, because you have no clue what's going to. To me, I don't know what was going to happen. They were down 1. Baycott gets hurt with 38 seconds to go. Maybe he draws a foul on McCormick. He's out of the game at that point. Maybe he makes the shot there, and now Carolina's up by 1. Maybe he misses the shot or whatever it is, and then fouls McCormick at that time as soon as he gets the ball or something like that. I have no clue what would have happened, but he would have still been in the game and been a defensive presence on that end, because the next play now McCormick hits a shot over top of Manick, and that put him up by 3. So if he's in the game, maybe McCormick doesn't even get that shot off. Maybe there's better defensive pressure. Maybe he's whatever. He can get a rebound or whatever. I don't know. But for him to go out with 38 seconds to go and obviously get hurt and not be able to come back, like, it just takes all the to me, it took apart from the game, because now I'm thinking about what if he was in the game for that. It was only 38 seconds, but that's still a lot of time. So
a lot of time.
What if he's in the game for that last 38 seconds? And things could change regardless. So that really pissed me off or bothered me, I guess. I can't be mad at the team. Like, the season that they had, it came out of nowhere. Like, I didn't think they were going to make a Final Four run or even take it to the championship. But hats off to Hubert Davis. He was getting, like, saying a lot of people were coming out early in the season that he shouldn't be the coach anymore because they lost a couple games to some
ranked teams. First season. This is ridiculous.
Well, I mean, you got to know that you're taking over for one of the best coaches of all. To me, he's on the Mount Rushmore of coaches in Roy Williams. So, you're taking over for
Give us
him.
some time though, Craig. God,
I'm not saying it. I'm saying other people were saying it.
yeah, that's crazy.
But I mean,
oh no, wait, that's how Carolina fans are. Y'all want the greatness.
It's hard to when you're trying to replace a legend like that, and you get blown out by Duke, and you get blown out by Pittsburgh of all teams who was at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like, people really expect a lot more from Carolina, especially when you have a lot of players that were on the team last year that came back. So, but I mean, the season that they had and the run that they had to get there, like, that's, to me, that's impressive. And it's in his first year. So hats off to him. Obviously, I guess the biggest thing of the season to me was when they beat Duke twice. They sent Coach K his last home game at home, or his last home game, Carolina won, and then his last game ever, Carolina won that one too. So that was a big win, obviously. But just in championship game, it just second half they just fell apart.
Yeah. Well, listen. To be honest, man, I played a lot of minutes. Love didn't have the game that we expect him to, but you gotta understand they played a lot of minutes, man, and I thought they were gonna win, but they had another breakdown. Even though they won against Baylor, it's still crazy that they, Kansas came back. But listen, it was a great game. I gotta give a shout outs to the Jayhawks, but I thought Kansas. The two halves are like night and day, But I think that's for both teams. I think Carolina, I think they were tired, man. They played a lot of minutes.
I mean,
I know that's an excuse, but
they're not a deep team. So I mean, they probably go about 7 deep, if that. Probably about 7 deep.
7, right?
So if you can foul trouble, or you're like 6, 7, and you're just tired, like, I mean,
Love didn't have a good game, man.
Love, I don't know what happened. Like,
I think he was tired.
I don't know if he was tired. I think he's fine. I just thought some of his shot selection was bad. He just wasn't making shots.
But you know how that is, though, Craig. When you're not making shots, you're gonna keep. I
understand that, but I mean, I just think he was just, some of his shots, some selection was, it just wasn't. It wasn't good. Like, he was rushing shots. He was taking bad threes at times. To me, I thought he should have been driving to the basket a lot more. He wasn't really doing that, and then they finally kind of started doing it later. And then they kind of went away from it in the second half. They weren't really getting to the basket, and then when they did get to the basket, they were just missing. They kept getting all the rebounds, but they kept missing shots after shots. So
yeah,
hats off to Kansas, man. Kansas, I mean, they deserve to win the game, especially the way they played in the second half. But I mean, I just still go back to how, to me, like, the strategy of the second half, like, it wasn't there, and then the whole Baycott injury at the end just kind of throws it out of whack to me. But if he was 100% healthy the whole game, he came into the game hobbled, and then he got hurt with 38 seconds left. Like, if he's healthy the whole time, I think maybe it could be a different outcome. I have no clue, because he was hobbling around early in the game before the game even started. So, or when the game started. So, it is what it is. It's not the first time Carolina's lost in the championship. It won't be the last.
Y'all made it, man, and y'all beat Duke in the Final Four in Coach K's last season. That's got to be not good enough, but that's an excellent college season to be the 8th seed and then to go to the national championship. I know it's a letdown you didn't win, but you had some great accomplishments on the way.
I mean,
great accomplishments.
Just look at the whole season in totality. Yeah, it was a really good, compared to how they started the season and then how they finished. It was a great season to me, but it is going to be tough. It's just like 2016 when they lost that last second shot to Villanova.
Yep,
that was tough. After they came back and tied it up, they lost in a buzzer beater, and then the next year they came back and they won the whole thing. So
yeah, see,
they can take that mentality and just, I don't know if
how many's coming back. Is everybody?
I know Manic's not coming back because he's a senior or a 5th-year senior. But Leaky Black. I don't think Leaky Black's coming back. I think he's a senior. He should be. I gotta check. I think
Love and one of the other guards are sophomores. Which the other
Love might be back,
sophomores. Baycott is a junior.
Yeah,
but neither one of none of the three are projected to be first round picks. Maybe Love is like a late first round, early second round pick, maybe.
But you think he leaves?
I hope not. I really don't.
I think all of them should be back. If somebody's really advising them on a great level, I think all of them should come back. I don't think none of them should leave. Like I think that's just not. I mean, I understand the run and all. I mean, they've done great things, but if they're truly getting good advice, I don't think none of them should leave early. Like I think all of them should come back for another season and make a run at it and improve their draft stock.
Yeah,
I don't think none of them are really that.
Draft stock. Yeah,
I agree with that, Mo. Because I mean, if they come back and make the same run, the draft stock is going to be tremendous.
Caleb Love just has to be consistent. He's just being inconsistent. He just fades away at certain times of the game. You just don't even know he's on the court half the time. Yeah. Baycott just needs to improve his offensive game. And RJ Davis I don't know. RJ Davis is a solid player. He just needs to another year, I think.
Yeah. One thing I will agree with Bill Self say, we know a lot of coaches will say stuff just to say it, like it sounds good on camera, but it's true. This by far was not one of his most talented Kansas teams, but it looked like they had fun playing together. It looked like they were like a solid brotherhood. Like you could tell outside of Abaji, they really didn't have. We used to Kansas having like three. Like almost 3-4 players who were like first team, second team All-Americans. Like outside of Abaji, they really didn't have nobody who was like All-American or even honorable mention type of guys, but they just played together. Like everybody knew their role and just played their role well.
I agree with that. I do. I agree with that. But it was, listen, once again, man, we get a great college basketball NCAA tournament across the board, man, besides Carolina hanging it up. But guess what, Craig? Now you get to divulge in some of my pain. The Lakers are out of the playoffs. They've been officially eliminated. I told y'all this was going to happen. So here's a question for the floor, right? Does this affect LeBron James' legacy by missing the playoffs?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think no longer can you say the GOAT. And if you do, I mean, I understand. I was already kind of on that board of them saying the GOAT, but I think you can't no longer see you. Yeah, yes, because what people got to realize is, and this is what I tell people all the time: when we talk about basketball, we talk about football, and then when people talk about quarterbacks and people talk about stuff, I'd be like, are we discussing it from a stat standpoint or a flat out winning standpoint? Because if we talk about it from a flat out winning standpoint, like I think this is bad. The West is deep. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the West is trash.
Wait a minute. KD's about to miss the playoffs. They're barely in the play-in. And Steph
they're in the play-in. No, they're in. No, they're in. No,
they're above 500. They're not 17 teams below 500.
Well, let's not forget Jordan has some teams below 500. I just don't think
they made the playoffs.
Right, they were below 500.
They made the playoffs. They won 17 games below 500.
But Steph missed the playoffs last year.
Steph is not LeBron. It's Jordan and LeBron. Like we're not doing this. All these other players.
Hey, I get what y'all saying.
So y'all think it? I don't think it determines his legacy.
Yes,
I think it determines his legacy. I'm not talking about him being great. It doesn't stop from the greatness. But we can't no longer say we got to cut off this talk about the GOAT. Like we have to cut this off of this. Like it should affect the legacy. I understand his numbers are great. Don't get me wrong. His numbers are crazy for his age. Don't get it twisted. But at the end of the day, it's about winning. Like, and I get one player should make the team, but that's why I always tell people when we have these conversations, do we want to talk about just flat out stats or do we talk about winning? Because if we're talking about winning, for you not to make the playoffs in a 10-team bracket, we're not talking about the regular 8. They added 2 teams. We're talking about now you're not even in the top 10. I think this does affect his legacy. I understand the stats he made. I understand you can't put it all on him, but we talk about this all the time. It affects the legacy And I'm only talking about legacy as far as us calling him the GOAT. I'm not saying his overall legacy as far as his greatness. That's not going to be questioned. But as far as for me, this right here has to end the conversation about him being the GOAT. Because we talk about winning. I'm about winning. I understand your stats, but I'm about winning. That's just me. I can't disagree with other people's point, but for me, it's about winning. And for you not to make the playoffs, how can we still put them in the GOAT conversation when you can't make the playoffs in a 10-team bracket? Is the West really that good? Is the West really that dominant across the board?
Man,
that's very interesting because it's like if you talk about missing the playoffs or like even having a bad playoff performance, I don't think it does. I think now if let's say this, if he wins a championship in the next 3 years, but it's not, let's say they get, I don't think this is going to happen, but say they trade AD, blow it up, they get Dame and Malcolm Brogdon, and they build a phenomenal team, right? I'm not saying this is going to happen. LeBron wins a championship. Do you still remember the season?
Yeah, I do. You have to.
You know what I'm saying, Mo? That's what I'm saying. Like,
but this will be my thing though. Your only choices right now.
A hard thing to say.
Your only two choices this offseason. They're basing it in what we verbally would call the trick bag. You got two choices. You either trade AD or you keep this team as it is.
We'll get to that. But Craig, you think it messes his legacy?
This does affect his legacy. I don't know how it can't. Like, you're the best player in the league or one of the best players of all time. This is what happens when you're a great player. Like, you're Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, you're counting Jordan's Wizards too. That's a part of Jordan's legacy.
You can count Jordan's Wizards, but I mean, Jordan was like 30. I mean, he was pretty much, he had took 3 years off. He had taken 3 years off.
No excuse. No excuse.
No excuse, but it is what it is.
Don't do that 3 years off. And he had issues. I don't want to hear that.
It's no excuse, but it is what it is. But what I'm trying to tell you is that LeBron picked this team. He handpicked this team basically. So he pretty much got the players that he wanted to play with him. He was the GM of this team. He orchestrated everything. He has 5 Hall of Famers, maybe 6 with Rondo when the season started. Yeah. 5 guaranteed Hall of Famers. You mean to tell me you have a team of 5 Hall of Famers? You handpicked this team. You're the GM. You're the greatest player.
You think he's a GM?
You're one of the greatest players of all time. This is what happens when you're a great player. You have the role. You get all the praise when everything goes well, and you get all the negativity when things go wrong. And this is what happens. I don't
think he's GM though.
This is he pretty much orchestrated this team. He got Westbrook on board or whatever it is. He started talking to him, got him over there, got him traded.
I think he
traded all them pieces.
Not that he did it.
I don't care what you say. I've heard it. I don't know how many
LeBron
times
is running the Lakers.
I'm not saying he's running the Lakers, but I'm saying he had a sense.
If he was GM, we would have Tyronn Lue.
He had a say so. You can't just fire the guy after the fact when he won a championship. So how you going to get Tyronn Lue for Frank Vogel?
I said before Frank Vogel, if he was
okay,
GM,
but I'm saying he didn't.
He wanted him. He wanted Tyronn Lue.
He had a hand in bringing in AD. He had trading all them pieces. He had a hand in bringing in Westbrook. Traded all the pieces. So he's playing the role of like a GM, and he's not good at it. That's what I'm saying. He had a role in bringing these players in. Like, I don't understand how you're a Lakers fan, so your heart's in it. I understand that. But he still had a role. He had a role in bringing Westbrook in. It doesn't work. It didn't work.
I agree with that. But just
he had a say-so in it.
Right. You said GM and having a say-so are two different things.
I'm not saying he's the GM. I'm saying he's like playing the role of a GM. Okay, he doesn't have the title of GM.
KD has a say with the Nets, right?
That's fine.
Exactly. I'm just saying,
But LeBron James has bought in 5 Hall of Famers. It didn't work. You bought 6. I'm gonna say 6 because I think Rondo's a Hall of Famer. You bought in 6 Hall of Famers. It didn't work.
I think Rondo.
Whatever. I don't care. That's I'm not debating that. I don't care. But I'm saying he's not a good GM, or he's not a good.
I don't think so.
He's not a good fake GM. Whatever it is you want to call it. Like he has to take some blame and accountability for this team being the way they are. They're not just like 4 games under 500. They're 17. They're 4-17 since the All-Star break.
Right.
Like, they had the second worst record since the All-Star break. They can't win a game. They lost 7 in a row. You know how many times they won 3 games in a row? Three.
Yeah.
Three separate times with 4 games being the highest. You know how many times they lost 3 games in a row? 8.
Probably the most.
I'm just telling you, 8.
They're probably the
8.
most.
8.
They're the worst
8.
team
With 7 games in a row right now.
So you remember when you said that LeBron James would make the playoffs?
Okay, I said he make the play-in. I didn't think it would be
And
this
I said,
bad.
no, we're
That's
bad.
fine. That's fine. But that doesn't take a. Okay, well that's even worse then because you didn't think you had no faith in them.
Yes, they were one of the worst teams.
So that's why it should even. That's why it should for you. It should more affect his legacy. I don't understand how it can't. Like this guy has played GM and it hasn't worked. This guy, for all the greatness that for all his numbers that he's put up. LeBron James, I'll tell you this: LeBron James better not play these next 2 or 3 games for him to get on that to qualify as a point per game player because. If you sit out against the Phoenix Suns and you come back and you play against Oklahoma City Thunder,
so
that way you can get your name into the record book for being, and you can drop 45 on them. That is going to be a bad look. It's going to be way more.
Yeah, definitely gonna be bad look. Yeah, definitely.
You got to sit out the rest of the season. You have nothing to play for. You have nothing to play for.
Why are you playing? And this ain't about pride no more. Like, I don't want to hear about no pride. That's.
I don't know if he plays the rest of the season. I don't know.
But one thing I would say about this, and this is where I would go against the legacy. The way I'm saying this is once again I would say this: does it hurt his legacy? Does it count against his greatness overall, or who he is, what he's meant to this game? No. But what I say is this: for once and for all, is a damaging shot to us talk about GOAT. I feel like it's a slap in the face right now. We still after this talk about GOAT status, and I'm gonna give people a reason why. They added 2 teams to the play-in, right?
Yeah.
Let's really look at. I'm gonna look at 2 teams in particular that made it over top of them. This might be the worst team that Popovich has had in his whole coaching tenure. Can Bama's really name all people on San Antonio's roster? Can we really have a legitimate conversation on who's on San Antonio's roster right now? No. Like who's the best player? Who's the mainstay player on that roster right now?
Murray.
It's hard. Oh, okay. All right, Murray. Okay. But I mean, outside of that, it's a bunch of like people who just trying to find their own.
Pretty much.
The Pelicans. Okay. All right. We can say Brandon Ingram. Okay, if we want to be funny. But outside of that, Zion ain't played.
But you're right. I know what
I ain't trade for him, but yeah, but Zion ain't played a game.
The Clippers are in the playoffs, and they haven't had.
Right. They haven't had Paul George all season and no Kawhi. So it's like we can't give a pass to this situation. We can't do it. I understand. And once again, I'll give LeBron his just due on his stats. For him being that age, that is crazy what the numbers he's putting up. But at the end of the day, I look at winning. Like at the end of the day, like Craig said, you 17 games under 500. You ended this season 4-17. And the thing is right now is I'm looking at the future of what coach do you bring in here? You got to bring a big name in here. You're not going to bring in a high energy young dude to coach these future Hall of Famer veterans or whatever. That's not going to work, I don't think. So what names do we throw out there to take this job? Like who's really going to put themselves through this and take this job?
Okay.
I don't know.
About that, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what coach.
They are 11-10 with the big 3 on the court at the same time.
Yeah, that's
terrible.
Of course. Everybody knew it from the beginning. It's
fine.
Horrible team.
It's fine.
It's not horrible. I have nothing to say about that. I've been quiet on the Lakers. I have nothing to say because we're horrible. It's constructed horrible. LeBron deserves blame. AD deserves blame. Westbrook deserves blame. Frank Vogel deserves blame with his sets. Rob Pelinka deserves blame. Jenny Buss deserves blame. And the Rambuses, because they're in it too. They all deserve blame because this is horrible. It is. Man.
Look, the Spurs traded away the second best player because they were trying to just say, you know what, we don't care. And they still end up making the play-in game, trading the second best player. Yeah. They started out the season 4-13.
Yeah. I mean, then look at to be honest, it's a lot of teams, man. Look at the Nets. They haven't had Kyrie full time, and they traded away James Harden, and it's still they're still in the plan. And listen, that's what I'm saying. It's horribly constructed. What I would have loved for happen if we would have went with our original plan and got Buddy Hield, because we would have had Buddy Hield, KCP, Caruso, and probably DeMar DeRozan. Now with that team, we would probably be a lot better. I'm gonna really be honest with you because DeMar DeRozan, huh?
They'd be way better than this.
Way better. Yeah, way better.
They don't have nobody plays defense.
No. Right, but see, we would have KCP and Caruso.
Right, Caruso can play defense. KCP can play defense.
Yeah,
especially on-ball defense.
Yeah,
there's nobody here on the team that can play on-ball defense anymore.
No. And then even if LeBron, and then you're setting up AD with LeBron and AD shooters, right? And then DeRozan would have fit right in to be the leader of the team, and he would have been doing what he's doing. But listen, when I traded for Westbrook, I was kind of blown, and he's been disconnected with the media. And, let me say this for the offseason, because this is what I'm hearing. I'm going to be honest. As a Lakers fan, I've already told you I'm disappointed. LeBron's up for an extension. They're going to ask him, are you signing the extension or not? It's up to him, because if he says no, then they're probably going to blow it up. They're probably trading AD. They're probably trading LeBron, probably rolls, and they get all their draft pick back. They trade Westbrook and whatever. So I don't think that's going to happen because LeBron loves LA and he's not going to play for the Clippers. So I think he's going to be like, I don't think he's going to go to another NBA team. I think he likes being in LA. So I think he stays in LA. I know everybody wants to trade AD. Probably, I don't know if y'all guys want to.
That's a two choices though. It's either trade AD or stay packed. They don't have no other. They don't have the money nor the resources.
They could keep AD.
Right.
Keep LeBron.
You can't trade Russ because nobody's taking that. Nobody's taking that contract.
The Rockets trying to trade for him.
Yeah, you could. Well, listen, you got teams like Pistons, Indiana. Indiana, they want to blow it up.
But who can they get for that trade that's going to help Lakers right now?
I got you. Listen, if Indiana wants to blow it up, you could trade Miles Turner and Malcolm Brogdon because they have money that's owed to them. Russ has only 1 year, $47 million. You trade for Russ, you get off the books. You're clear. You have your picks. You can NBA franchises like doing that. Like when they want to, so it's different than NFL, right? In NBA, you can say tanking.
Right.
So if a team wants to tank and get the first pick and get picks, they'll trade. That's why Malcolm Brogdon, Miles Turner, they're on a trading block. Teams will be like, we want to get rid of we'll take Russ for 1 year, right? And either they'll keep him or, they'll, what do you call it? When they pay a player out, they'll do a buyout. But the reason they'll do that is to have the money and get players. Rockets will do it's teams that will do it, Mo. It's just that, the reason they didn't want to do it this year is because they didn't want to pay Russ for this year and next year. But if you get to 47, teams will trade a couple pieces just to have one player to get that money off. We've seen it time and time again. But
the Lakers need shooters though.
That's what
they're going to trade. They're going to need some shooters. They definitely need shooters.
They need shooters. They need to do what they originally and just have shooters and D3s.
And they want to play defense because right now, outside LeBron, nobody really wants to play defense. Nobody wants to.
LeBron don't play. Don't let him fool you. Don't let him fool you. LeBron does not play defense. He'll come in there with chase down block or whatever it is, but he don't play defense. I've seen way too much. Look, LeBron has missed the playoffs twice since he's been in LA, and he's gotten bounced out in the first round once. And the one time they did win the championship, it wasn't even in LA; it was in the bubble. I don't even know if you can put an asterisk on that season if you want to. Whatever. So I don't. They haven't won a playoff series in LA since 2012.
Yeah,
10 years ago. like this is I don't know how it could not affect his legacy when he's missed the playoffs twice in 4 years and got bounced out in 1 year, and they had to do a play-in tournament to get to that one. Like, these last 4 years are pretty much solidified. I don't know how you can go up. I know he won a championship, but it can't go championship and then it keeps going up, or it stays even. He has to go championship here, and then he just missed the playoff. Made the playoffs, but lost in the first round. Okay. Oh, so 17 games under 500. I'm sorry.
Hey, so Craig, I'll ask you this.
So what are they going to do in the offseason, Craig?
What is the Lakers going to do?
Mm-hmm.
They got to try to figure out what they're going to do with Russell Westbrook. But figure out what they're going to do with Anthony Davis, and figure out if LeBron's going to sign an extension or not. With his son coming into the league,
and trade Anthony Davis.
If they can find a trade partner, he cannot stay on the court, man. He's just fragile. He's a really great player. He's a top 10 player when he's healthy, but he's fragile.
Somebody said he might have peaked already.
He probably did. He's just paper.
Yeah, they're saying that he might
wet paper.
He might have peaked.
He's wet paper.
Hey, so question, y'all.
So you would trade him?
If I could find somebody willing to take him, why not?
Somebody would take him. I believe so.
You don't know what you're going to get back for him. If you're going to get some type of good value back for him, then yeah. But at the same time, you got LeBron, who's 37. Like, I don't know if he wants to go with a bunch of young players when he could just Anthony Davis. So it's pretty much LeBron's GM again. So he's going to come back and say what he wants to happen.
So question from a legacy standpoint, because our conversation was and our topic was his legacy. Where does this drop from a legacy standpoint? Let's not even say GOAT right now. Where does this drop him in legacy standpoint as far as what are we still saying? Top 5, top 10?
Yeah.
Is he out of top?
He's still on Mount Rushmore.
By
the time he retires, he's probably going to be the
score, top score,
and probably top 3 in assists and top 3 in rebounds.
I get that. I'm just asking the question. Like,
He's probably number 2 and number 3 for me. I think I probably still have my number 2 right now. But I can't take away.
Stop to go. He never got stopped to go.
He's never going to be Jordan. Me, even before this happened, back in
Greg, it doesn't matter what happened, bro. I'm gonna tell you that Greg is not moving off Jordan.
Back when they lost to Dallas, and he had that terrible playoff series, and Jason Terry outplayed him. Jason Terry outplayed him in that series, and LeBron James was a starter. Jason Terry was not.
That was 2011.
You cannot tell me that should not take some type of precedence in his legacy. Come on, he played terrible. He was the 3rd or 4th best player on his team.
I think that was the time that I believe
he's probably like the 6th best player in the series.
I believe that was the time
you can't make no excuses. I'm not doing that. I'm not. You want to hear?
No, that was the time that was the first year in Miami, and he lost.
Yeah,
that was his second finals appearance, I think. Yeah, he lost.
That's fine. He formed a super team. He formed a super team, and that seems to be the theme for him. He has to form a super team to have a championship. I can't reward that, man. Like, I cannot reward. You have to do it every single place you go to. You have to have some type of super team. I can understand it, like if it was drafted for you. Maybe even if it was traded to you or something like that, or whatever it is, or I don't know, but you're orchestrating a lot of this stuff behind the scenes to me. And to me, it didn't work out. And it has to, Russell Westbrook is having his worst.
I don't even think about super teams.
Player efficiency rating ever.
He doesn't want to play with younger players.
That's cool.
Hey, so let me tell you this. I always tell people this. Out of all his championships, I respect his Cleveland one the most. I will always respect his Cleveland one the most.
Me too.
That's one of the greatest championships.
I got, and not even for the 3-1 comeback. It's for the team he had. Period. That was probably his worst team that he won a championship with.
That finals, that's LeBron at the apex. I think he led everybody in all statistical categories. Am I right, Craig?
I had to look it up. I know he didn't hit the game-winning shot, but he. You
said what?
I know he didn't hit the game-winning shot, but I also know that if Draymond Green doesn't get suspended, that series is not going to a game 7. I do know that. I'm not going to sit there and look. What Stephen A. Smith calls it a stimulus package. This is what the league gave to the Cavaliers. They gave them a stimulus package because they suspended Draymond Green. You can sit there and shake your head all you want to. I don't care. They suspended Draymond Green.
Why did they win game 6 then?
They did. Okay, that's fine. But I'm saying
I don't understand this.
they suspended Draymond Green, and I think Iguodala got hurt in one of those games as well. So he was out. But I'm saying that, but the Draymond Green suspension was part of that. But I mean, hats off to the Cavaliers that came back and won the series. I'm just saying that Draymond Green.
See that, Bo? You see how he's trying to? You say that to Greg, Bo, that he's like Draymond was healthy. You hear that, Bo, right?
So you have LeBron James #1 as your GOAT of all GOATs. You have LeBron James as your NBA GOAT, basically.
His career's not over yet.
So what do you have him? Is he going to be #1?
I don't know yet. His career's not done.
I'm not going to put him #1. So I'm saying his
career's you never were, Craig.
His career's not over yet, but he's not going no higher than #2.
That's what I'm saying, Craig. Let's be honest. If LeBron James won 6 championships,
that doesn't matter.
You still wouldn't put him as the GOAT.
I saw him lose 6. No, but I saw him lose 6.
You hear this though, Bo? Like it doesn't.
He didn't lose 6. He didn't lose 6.
Yes.
Also saw him play bad in 2011 finals. I saw him get swept in the finals.
You wouldn't have
lose 4-1 in the finals a couple times.
You wouldn't
twice.
LeBron.
He got swept twice. He lost 4-1 twice.
All right,
it doesn't matter. 4-1 and 4-0 don't matter.
I said it doesn't matter if whatever LeBron did, it doesn't matter. He's still not the GOAT in your eyes.
No, he's not.
And that's fair. I mean, all right. So this is the thing, though. This is more.
So don't believe Craig.
I got you. This is more of an opinion piece, right? And Craig eyes, yes, Craig ain't gonna go. In my eyes, to be honest with you, I felt like the conversation already was kind of a little bit disrespectful, but I was willing to take it on after he won another championship. But now after this, like Craig said, after this now, 17 games under 500, make it, I can't legitimately even remotely have this conversation anymore. Like I can't. I think it would be a full slap in the face of Jordan to have this conversation now.
So this is a conversation that we have, right. But they don't have these conversations. A lot of players say people are the best of their era, right?
Okay, if we're gonna say that, now that's a different conversation. That's different.
Kobe's the best of his era. Because to be honest, Craig's not going to want to hear this, but it's a lot of younger NBA players that look up to Kobe more than they look up to LeBron. I mean, they look up to Jordan because they grew up watching Kobe. So I'm just saying it's relative.
So all right, so let's hold on.
No, I'm being honest. I'm not trying to say like, so even if I have Jordan to go right now,
all right, so
I'm just saying that people don't even like people. So are we saying some top tier athletes hate that? They think it's they don't like it because they think it's you're not doing the homework. I forgot what.
So if we're saying of the generation.
So I said you're lazy if you just have a GOAT conversation and you don't break down the errors.
So we say LeBron is the best of the 2000s? I mean, are we saying LeBron the best of the 2000s era?
Kobe.
Are we calling 2000 era like 2000 and now?
I'm gonna say Kobe from 2000 to 2010.
All right. So what era are we putting LeBron?
LeBron 2010 to 2020.
So he's the best. So he's the greatest of the last decade or decade in the last decade.
I think so, yeah. But people might have KD. This is what we're talking about.
No, I can't do that.
Some people might have Steph.
No,
for real. Some people might.
No. But I'm saying no respect to KD. If we're putting it in that context, I would say LeBron. If we're putting in that context, I would not put KD above him in that context.
I mean, you gotta think about it, right? I mean, if you put it in that, because Jordan, I got the idea to Jordan, because Jordan said it. He was like, I don't. First of all, it takes away from people like Magic and Kareem and Dr. J calling me the greatest when he's like, I'm considered the greatest in my era. And then if you do it by eras, everybody gets adjusted.
And I'm gonna give somebody this one. This is the only reason I would say LeBron over KD. This is the only reason from 2010 to now. The only reason I'm putting LeBron over KD is because LeBron won that championship.
Some people will say it's I don't.
Right.
But some people will say it's an argument.
Nah, no, I mean it is, but the only reason in my eyes, on me, I won't disagree with nobody else. But I'm saying
Just
for
think
me,
about it. I said Kobe. Some people can say Shaq.
right? Now the only reason I would put LeBron over KD in this time period we just put is because the championship he won with Cleveland. Because they both did the same thing. They both went to other organizations with super teams and won championships. So they both scratched each other out with that one. But LeBron won that championship going back to Cleveland the way he did, down 3-1. I think that put him over KD as far as that argument, because we're talking about winning. I'm not talking about stats, we're talking about winning. So that's where I put him over KD as far as this era of time we're talking about. If it wasn't for that, I might truly lean towards KD a little bit because he beat LeBron. He beat LeBron in the finals.
I mean, the team that KD played on, he beat LeBron twice. The team that KD played on, people consider that one of the greatest teams of all time.
Right. He went on a 73-win team. KD went and got on a 73-win team. Come on.
Somebody said that. We're gonna have to have this discussion, but I think.
Because really, I think I ask y'all this: is it worse what KD did or worse what LeBron did?
KD.
Right.
What do you think?
He went to a team that was already stacked.
Go ahead. What do you think? Go ahead, Craig.
It's worse what KD did because the team was already established and they won 73 games. They went to the finals. The Heat didn't do that before.
KD,
but LeBron did kind of. He didn't. I'm not saying he started the super team thing, but like the whole not 1-3, not 1, not 2, not 3, like.
He did.
Yeah, he messed up.
LeBron said
decision on TV with Jimmy.
He did. Craig, listen. LeBron started that, right? He started signing the 1-year deals. LeBron started that. Like
Jordan did the 1-year deals back in the day, but
but not holding a team hostage, but like I could leave if y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think Jordan used it as a bargaining chip. You know what I'm saying? Jordan just signed it so he could, sign.
Let me ask you a question. Was back in the day though, was it money? Was money? Do y'all feel like, everybody can say what they want to say out of their mouth. If you ask a lot of these veterans, a lot of these legends right now, they would say certain things. But in y'all eyes, in y'all mind, do you think a lot of the reasons why a lot of these dudes, at least when I say super team back in the day, it would have been one more superstar going with another superstar. Do you think it was money or do you think it was true pride? Like, nah, I want to win a championship on my own. I want to be the guy. Like, and when I say that, I mean the Karl Malones, the Patrick Ewings, the Alonzo Mournings, the guys of that era when they just stayed in Charlotte and they stayed in New York and they didn't leave. The David Robinsons before he got with Tim Duncan. Do you think they stayed there off of loyalty and just wanted to be the guy? Or do you think money was a factor in that? I'm not going to leave because this next team was going to be able to offer me the same money that other players can get today?
I think they wanted to beat. To me, I think a lot of players wanted to beat the other player. I think there was more competition back then, and it was more.
Oh, absolutely.
I
agree.
Jordan wants to beat Magic Johnson. They don't want to team up together. Jordan wants to beat Dominique Wilkins.
Right.
All that. Maybe if the money was like today's money, because they weren't really making a lot of money back then. Maybe it was like today's money. It might be different, and it might have a different appeal to some players or whatever it is. But I think the competition and like all the friendships that you see nowadays in the NBA, like it wasn't like that back then to me. At least it wasn't like that on TV. Because maybe it wasn't no social media back then. It wasn't.
I don't think it was. Like, I don't think Isaiah and they still.
Hey, but let me tell you this. Hey, I think we joked about this once. I think we all talked about this and laughed this off once. But you could have had the bubble back in the 80s, 90s. You could have had that bubble where everybody was in the same hotel. Everybody, nah, buddy.
I don't know, man. It was a lot of. It was a lot of drugs.
I think we missed some stuff going on.
Wild. They said it was wild in the 80s.
You could have had the same hotel. There could have been no bubble. You could have had them in no bubble.
Charles Oakley addressed it. It was a little bit more. I think Craig is right. Okay, listen.
About time.
I think. Oh my gosh, man! Here we go.
Man, that's all we asked for.
Oh my gosh, man. No, I think it was more competitive, and I think it naturally grew into, like, I think it just grew into the culture. like it naturally like it started progressing that way. You know, to be honest, I think Zion is forcing his way to New York. The Knicks. Somebody even posted this. RJ Barrett is there, and Cam
Reddish.
Cam Reddish.
That to me,
I can see him wanting to go play in New York.
No, I get what you're saying, but I'm gonna give you this though. Him there for the Pelicans trading him, what do you have to? What would you have to give up? Like, all right,
Lewis Randle.
If the Pelicans,
right, you have to give
Zion. If Zion leaves the Pelicans, they need to move this team back to Seattle.
I heard Randall wasn't even. He's not even engaged with the team.
They
falling out with him. So trade Julius Randle and some other players for Zion.
I feel like that with the Knicks Rockets, I feel like that put them right where they still are. I don't think that makes them better. I don't think that puts them in the top four. It raises your ticket price. It raises.
It does do that. That's what I'm saying. It puts more eyes on the team and then more spotlight on the team. And maybe as far as winning, didn't want to come to play for the. I don't know.
Maybe RJ Barrett might keep him more accountable.
The owner's asked, so I don't know.
They're gonna fire Thibodeau.
You know it's different. You know it's different when you're with somebody that you're close with, right? It's somebody like, come on, man, we going to the gym, and you know what I'm saying, or like, come on, we about to go shoot around. So I don't know. I think people have more. Players see the power that they have and they're using it. Like you can't tell me James Harden, he wanted to be a 76er. And then he was like, all right, I'll go to the Nets. Well, actually, he told KD he was going to sign an extension. And then I guess he saw something that he didn't want to see. I don't know what happened.
I heard rumors that Kyrie said to his face that you're washed up or whatever it is, or something to that extent. He told James Harden. I don't know if that's true or not, but I
think James Harden.
We gotta get there. We gotta get there. Oh, that now.
Yeah, we
gotta get there in a second.
James Harden.
We gotta get there in a second.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say something about that one.
That the younger players are noticing. Like, think about what James Harden just did. If you're a young player, you're noticing. Like, well, wait a minute. He wanted out of Houston. He got out of Houston. He went to the Nets. He wasn't happy with the Nets, and then he goes to Philly where he wanted to go. So as a young player, you're probably looking like, well, I can determine where I want to go. You know.
Well, now you got Devontae Adams doing it too.
Oh, Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams did it. Yeah, it's different, man.
Might trickle down, but yeah, the NBA players have been doing that for a while. They determine pretty much run the league. So I mean, it's.
We get the next thing. I got a question for y'all.
NFL players are starting to do it now. Tyreek was like, you know what? You don't want to pay me. He said he was never going to go to the Jets. He said, I want to go to Miami. I'm down there anyway.
I knew that too. When they said it's down to the Jets or Miami, I said, man, he ain't going no Jets. Like, come on, son.
Yeah.
Like so, let's be serious.
All right, so the Nets. Now, mind you, the Lakers and the Nets in Vegas were picked to go. Now, the Nets could still go. They could. Right? To the final. So the Nets are in the 10th. How far do you see the Nets going this season?
The play-in tournament. I mean, the playoffs. The playoffs.
Wait, okay.
My bad. They in the play-in tournament. The playoffs.
No, I'm okay.
I'm gonna say the playoffs because let's be honest with you, they're not.
You look like the play-in. That's it.
Hey, let me say this. Are they gonna be scary? Yeah. Yes, they can take anybody 6-7 to the brink, but I don't think they play enough defense or they're gonna be mentally tough. Because right now, guess who's gonna be the number 1 seed? I think the worst matchup for them is Miami because that's a split your weaknesses. Miami's gonna split your weaknesses the most. So I don't think they're gonna play enough defense, and I don't think they're gonna be physical enough to go with Miami.
So you think that I'm gathering this? They win the play-in, that's it.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. They're not beating Miami. They're not beating Miami in a 7-game series. I'm sorry. No, it's not gonna happen.
I like that because I definitely agree.
Out of respect, hold on. Out of respect,
yeah.
Hold on. Out of respect to KD and Kyrie, I give them enough respect as men, as great players, to say it will go 6. It'll go 6-7, but they're not winning. No, they're not winning the series.
I love them. I love them so much, and I hope that they could do. I just think that Steve Nash is running. KD is still averaging 40 minutes a game. Yo. That shit is crazy. They're losing, and he's playing 40 minutes a game. And I think next year, Ben Simmons, which I don't even want to talk about because now he has an injury. I don't know where that came
And
from.
now I don't know if he's suing, but he's requesting money back from Philly.
I don't know what's the
lost
stuff with Ben
wages.
Simmons, but next year with a healthy Ben Simmons, I mean, I think they're going to be a problem. But this year, it's even with Kyrie, playing. I just want to see it. Now some people they're still high on them. They think that they play Miami, they could beat them.
No, they got a shot. We'll be disrespectful. We'll be disrespectful to say they don't have a shot. But what I'm saying is, I think Miami exploits their weaknesses more than Boston, more than Philly does.
More than Boston, more than Philly. Yeah. What about you, Craig? You think they beat Miami?
I don't think they're going to play Miami. I think they're going to play because right now they're 8th.
They're 8th, yeah.
So they just moved up as of last night because of the win.
Yeah, that's why.
So they might get 7th.
They stick with 7 and 8th, and if they can move up, because just the last 3 games are easy. So if they can get past Cleveland and go to 7, or even if they finish 8th and they beat Cleveland or whoever's in 7,
and then they
go to the 7th. So
who would they play?
End up right.
They play Philly or Boston. They play. You think
right
they
now
beat Philly or Boston?
Milwaukee or Boston. I think they're all like 49 and 30. I could be wrong.
So you think
they
all
have
beat
the same
3?
record? Huh? I think they can beat Milwaukee's going to be tough because it's
Milwaukee's
tough. But
you think they?
I think they get Philly.
Yeah, you think they beat Philly?
Yeah, they get
Boston
Philly.
is tough because they play really good defense. Then they got the best defense in the league, and they can have Tatum and Brown's playing good and Smart.
I'm talking about the 3. They got the best shot against Philly.
I might give you that one, Craig.
I think they can beat Philly.
Them 3 teams, they got the best shot against Philly.
But Philly might start losing games so that way they can get to the 3rd spot, so that way they don't have to play them. Leave that up to
somebody said that he was going to do that too.
I mean, I don't think Doc is dumb, so I think he's going to try to position his team in the best way possible, even if it means that they don't get home court.
All of a sudden, he goes about, he need rest. This person need rest.
So they don't play.
Yeah.
That would be a good series though, because I mean, obviously you already have the drama. You already have 2 good teams or whatever. You got 2 good big twos.
Then
you got really drama surrounding the trade and everything like that. So
and they don't even like. I'm not going to say they don't like each other, but KD and Embiid have like a friendly competition.
Oh yeah,
they respect each other on the court. I listen to a lot of their podcasts, so I listen to KD podcasts, and then Joel Embiid was on JJ Redick podcast, and he just likes I think Joel Embiid likes the friendly, because they respect each other's games, right? Because if you watch Joel Embiid game, man, he has a lot of moves that Kobe's done and Jordan, and that comes from watching film. Like, okay, I'm gonna see if I can do this in the game, and I'm gonna practice it. Right? Same with Olajuwon. But him and KD, when they get together, they talk trash. That would be very interesting to see. So I would. And Craig, if they play Philly, I'm not gonna lie, that might be an upset. I wouldn't be surprised. But they cannot play Boston, Milwaukee, or the Heat.
I'm not really sold on Boston, but I think Milwaukee and the Heat will probably be tougher matchups. Yeah. But they almost beat the Bucks last year, so it's not like they can't beat them. And Kevin Durant was, if he wore a size 12 instead of a size 13, or whatever his shoe is, they would have won that game. But
yeah, Kevin Durant was.
I know I know we try to give people coaches a pass and we try to give people a pass, but if the Nets don't make it out in the first round, let's say they do make the play-in, they make the tournament, they win the play-in, and they get to the playoffs, but lose first round, does that put Steve Nash on a hot seat for next year?
Say that one more time.
I'm gonna give him a pass. Oh my bad.
Say that one more time.
So I'm saying, let's say they win the play-in. Let's say they win that one game, they get the 8th seed, and let's say they lose first round. Does he get a pass and not be on the hot seat? I'm not saying they don't fire him, but next season will he be on the hot seat?
Oh, next season, yeah. I think something like the offseason, like going into next season. Right. Excuse me. And the whole season, I think he's on the hot seat just because his team don't play no defense. They pretty much taking on the identity of the coach, which he never played defense. Everybody's kind of healthy. Like you don't have to, as far as I know, maybe they had the mandate next year. I don't know, but if they don't have the mandate next year, like everybody's on the court. Ben Simmons is back; he's healthy. There's no drama with Kevin Durant or James Harden and all that anymore. Like so, next year they should be. Once again, they should be the favorites to come out of the East.
They should be the favorites. Say that again, Craig. They
were the favorites this year.
They were, which is crazy. It's crazy.
Like the Lakers were the favorite in the West. Like both teams were favorite. It's just a lot of injuries, bad luck. This trade happened. A lot of
injuries.
Kyrie not being able to play. Kyrie can't play. You got the team doesn't. They don't need the team to play defense. So I mean, it's just a bunch of things. But I don't think he should be on the. I don't think he should be fired. But I think if his team does. Yeah. If his team ends up and they're healthy and all that, and they end up like they are now, 41-38 at this point next year,
then he got to go.
The team's already bad on defense.
Yeah.
They can't stop anybody, really.
And Mo, he's not even running sets. Yo, I'm not tripping. He be playing KD 40 minutes. And then KD get hurt and be like, all right, like, okay, man, like, I understand that. And it's Kevin Durant. He's one of the best players in the world. We're not going to see nothing like him come up again. But it's 40 minutes, man. That's a lot.
I do think that the Nets can go to the finals. Like I think that's their ceiling, I guess you want to call it.
This year?
I think they can go to the finals. I think it's like 5 or 6 teams that probably about 5 teams that legit go to the finals.
I get it, but I think they're going to be, all right, let's say,
I'm not saying they're going.
I don't think they're
going. I'm
not saying they're going. I said I think their ceiling is the finals still.
I got you. Okay. It's the ceiling, but let's just say they get out of the first round. Let's just play around with this right quick. Let's say they get out of the first round, right? They will play the winner of the 4-5 matchup.
No, they played 3-6.
Yeah.
If they go to the 7th spot, which I think that's probably where they'll end up, they'll play the 2 seed and then they'll play 3-6 winner.
Oh, I see. I think either way, then that's gonna be trouble because
he's gonna be Milwaukee probably or
right. And I get what you're saying. I'm saying they're gonna be so beat up from playing Miami to go into a next series with Philly or with Philly or Milwaukee. Oh man, that's gonna be too much. I think that's gonna be too much.
I think
like, it's gonna be overkill, especially how they playing Kevin Durant, like the amount of minutes and what he's going to do to beat Miami. Like he's going to go into GOAT mode to beat Miami. Like he cannot have bad nights to beat Miami.
He's gonna have to. I agree with Mo. They're gonna push him 40 minutes. He's gonna be averaging like 36, 10, and like 7, and then he has to go play the Bucks or the Celtics.
I think they get
or Philly. Like that's gonna be hard.
Philly is gonna be hard.
I'm gonna say they get to the second round and they're eliminated. That's what I'm gonna say.
That's what I'm saying.
They can go to the finals, but I don't think they're gonna make it this year. But I think that they can.
Next year they should.
Depending on the matchup, I think they can get out the first round. I got to see what happens on seasons over Sunday when the matchups come out and the play and all that stuff is done.
Yeah, I think the play-in starts April 12th.
Next week.
Right.
To the 12th to the 15th. Even though we're going to talk about them by the time we film next time.
That's the playoffs start.
I don't know if we're going to talk about the playoffs. Yeah, the playoffs start the 17th. So I don't even know. Well, probably talk about it the next week because we'll be able to figure out who the exact standings are. Yeah. So speaking about the play-in, right now, I'm looking at let me see if it changed. Nope. Right now we still have the Spurs versus the Pelicans, the 10th spot versus the 9th spot. So who we got? I got the Spurs, man.
I got the Pelicans.
I got the Pelicans. I'm only saying that because I respect. Hold on, I'm only saying that because I respect, and I'll say this: I love Greg Popovich to death, but I respect the growth and development of Ingram, and I think Ingram will take over, and he'll be the best player on the floor.
I think Ingram, CJ McCollum, and Valanciunas, like they have 3 good players. So I think they're going to take over the game, and they'll be at home. And well, maybe I don't know. I think the Spurs are like a game back, so they could still catch them in theory. But if the Pelicans are at home, I think they hold court and they win the game.
So all right, damn, I'm by myself with this one. Okay, so right now we got the Clippers and Minnesota.
I'm going Minnesota.
I'm
I
going
like
Minnesota.
PG. I'm glad PG's back, but I got to go.
Yeah.
Minnesota's been
Oh, you know, Kawhi's shooting around.
sneakily good. Sneakily
He's shooting. He's shooting around, but he told reporters not to film him. So I don't think Kawhi's gonna be back this year, but he is. He's.
Nah, he's not. But they had.
I got the Timberwolves. I think they're just playing really good right now.
For Kawhi to miss the whole season, and for Paul George to miss like 50 games or something like that, and for them to still be.
This is why Tyronn Lue, and they have a great roster. They have a great roster.
They didn't have no stars the whole season.
You know who their GM is? One of my favorite players. He was the GM for the Lakers. His name is Jerry West. So when Steve Ballmer bought him, he brings in Jerry West. Players respect him. He knows how to configure a roster, man. I think Tyronn Lue's a good coach. At this point, nobody can say Tyronn Lue's not a good coach. He's a really good coach. And the Clippers next year are going to be. They're going to be. They're going to be good. I'm not going to say it. We'll see till next year. They'll be good. They'll be good. But I don't see them beat Minnesota right now. I got the Timberwolves. Who you got, Mo? Timberwolves versus Clippers.
Man, I'm gonna go to Timberwolves. I think so I'm not saying as far as necessarily full greatness, but I think after a while, we always talk about this all the time. Certain players, when you get to certain levels and you get to certain years in the game, you realize that you got to do something. And I think Big Cat, Karl Anthony Towns is realizing, like, I'm in the league long enough. I got to do something. Like, the stats are great, but I got to win eventually. I got to win at something. Like, my stats have been great. My stats have been all-pro, has been NBA All-Star worthy, but I got to win. Ain't nobody going to care about all that if you don't win nothing.
This team is constructed very interesting.
Oh, yeah. They definitely built it the right way. They definitely started to build. Yeah. I like that kid, Anthony Edwards. I like the squad they've had.
They got Patrick Beverly.
Yeah.
They got, what's his name?
D'Angelo,
man.
They got a solid team.
They have a solid team. I feel like I want to hear more of D'Angelo, but he's dealing with some health issues right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can, because that'll be he fit perfectly with Patrick Beverly, and they got a good roster. All right, so now the East Playin. So right now we have Charlotte Hornets versus Atlanta. Charlotte Hornets are number 10. Atlanta is number 9. Who you got, Craig? Charlotte is.
I'm going Atlanta. I think they had the better player on the court. And he was there pretty much last year, so he knows what it takes to get to have a deep playoff run, or take the team to a deep playoff run. So haven't really seen him produce like he did last year so far.
The drop off is crazy from them and the Knicks. Am I tripping?
You said what?
The drop off is crazy for the Hawks and the Knicks, man.
From last season, yeah. They were like a 4 or 5. It was a 4 or 5 now this year.
Yeah, it was 4 or 5 matches. Yeah, now we're talking playing and not making the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Knicks are like 12th or something like that, and the Hawks are 9th. They might get. I mean, they're still battling with both teams. Actually, I think all the teams are in the same mix for the most part.
They are.
They can all move around the next 3. I think they have 3 games left each. So
something like that.
It's not set in stone yet, but as of right now, I'm taking Atlanta.
Yeah, I think the Wizards and the Knicks are eliminated, but you're right. So like the Nets, the Hawks, and the Hornets are really close. Yeah. They're about a game apart, game and a half apart.
The Knicks are playing tonight, or the Nets are playing the Knicks tonight. So
yeah, I know Atlanta playing tonight against the Wizards, but that
I might watch that.
I don't even want to talk about that, but in the Wizards, Lord have mercy.
All right, so we got I got the Hawks. So here we go. I guess we're all gonna pick so we got the Brooklyn Nets versus the Cavaliers. I'm probably go Nets.
You know what? It'd be a tougher game if if Cleveland was healthy. But Cleveland, I think, got too many injuries.
Yeah.
And I think KD and Kyrie gonna be motivated. And
It'd be even more different if Toronto was still in the 7th spot.
Yeah.
Kyrie couldn't play, but
you could go there, yeah. And that's what they worried about.
To Toronto though. Toronto started off real slow, man.
But you know they was talking about that with other teams too, because
Boston and Philly, they didn't want to answer.
Yeah, they say there's a lot of teams where if reporters have asked them, "Are all your players COVID?" they talk about no response and changing the question. So it's gonna be interesting.
Can't even get to the country of Canada if you're not vaccinated.
So. For real?
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, that's why they talking about a lot of teams.
That's a Canadian law now, or review policy, or whatever you want to call it. It's not even NBA.
That's what they're saying. A lot of teams
even get in the country if you are unvaccinated.
It's something you can't go on the road. That's what they were saying. A lot of teams don't want to play Toronto.
They don't want to play
a couple players might not be vaccinated.
That's gonna snap it.
If you're not vaccinated, you're not gonna be able to get in. So
you're not gonna get in. So now that's that. Yeah, I mean you will miss a couple of games. I mean you gonna miss at least 3 games depending on how the series go.
Oh wow.
I know Boston and Philly, they said nah, we're not gonna answer that right now, or whatever it is when they asked them about it.
Yeah, that's answering the question.
Snap.
That was like a week ago, so I don't know what happened between now and last week.
Okay.
So Canada passed a law, like they're not messing around. That's I don't damn in their own country. So everybody in Canada is vaccinated. If I'm assuming that, or they're saying you get deported. I'm gonna get into that.
I don't know about in state or in country, but you can't get into the country.
You can't get into the country.
I don't know if you're living there or there, how that works. I don't know.
Damn. That man, if you're a team if you're the Nets, you're short.
Well, unfortunately, you ain't got to play them.
See, we don't know. You know what's funny about the Nets?
Unless they win.
We know who on the Nets are vaccinated, who's not, because of the New York law, right? For their whole stadium. But we don't know for the 76ers and the Bucks.
And the Celtics. And
the Celtics, who is.
Don't know.
We don't know.
Well, I mean, maybe you did know if you watched them, because I mean, teams had to go travel to play Toronto in the regular season. But I mean, I really wasn't paying attention to that. So I don't know. I would have to go back and look to see who played and who didn't at the time, whatever it is.
Crazy, man.
I don't know.
That's crazy. All right, so right now, we would have the Pelicans, and this is how it would go. It would be the Pelicans versus the Timberwolves.
No. I picked the Timberwolves to win, so it would be the Pelicans.
Oh no, yeah. It would be the Timberwolves in the 7th seed. So it would be the Pelicans and the Clippers. Who do y'all have?
Clippers.
I got Clippers, man.
On Clippers.
Because Paul George is back, right?
He's back.
Yeah, I got Clippers.
I don't know, man. That might probably be a good game.
That's gonna be a good game.
Brandon Ingram's back. He's playing really good.
DJ McCollum playing good. Yeah. That's gonna be a good game, man.
That'll be a good game. If that happens, that'll be a good game.
Yeah. And then for the East, we have the Nets and the 7th seed. And then we would have Atlanta versus Cleveland.
I'm taking Atlanta. I
think Atlanta too.
And Mo pointed out that Cleveland's not really healthy. They're balanced and stuff. And they went from like the 3rd seed at one point or something, or the 4th seed, and they dropped down to right now the 7th. And they could drop even further down depending on what happens in the next couple of games.
Yeah, them in Chicago really got hurt by the injury bug. Chicago Ball got hurt. I think he's been for the season. And then Levine been hurt. Zach Levine been out for a number of games. So
it's just been disappointing, man. Considering how because at one point Chicago had the number 1.
They did.
It was like number 1, number 2 in the East.
In like January time frame.
Yeah.
That's after. Listen.
And I think Cleveland was top 4 at one time. Cleveland was
they were like
3 number 4 at one time.
We have to pay attention to history, and this always happens. If a team does well after All-Star break, that's mostly where you see them do good in the playoffs. If a team does bad, like the Lakers, we're eliminated. That's how it goes. 4 for 17. Anthony Davis hasn't had any 35-point games this season, and he's only shooting 18% from three, if y'all want to know that. Yep.
Lord have mercy.
That's nice.
Oh, well, sound all right. That sound all right. No, sound all right.
So listen, if it would be not this week, maybe next week, we should be able to get I don't know. But right now we have Phoenix. It will be Phoenix versus the Clippers.
Mhm.
Dallas versus Utah. Golden
That'd be
State
interesting.
versus Denver.
Oh Lord, that'd be the most interesting one right there.
Memphis versus Minnesota.
All right, never mind. That'd be the most exciting. Never mind. That'd be the most fast. My bad. I had to list it all.
It will be Miami versus Atlanta.
Lord.
Philadelphia versus Toronto. Milwaukee versus Chicago. And then Boston versus the Nets. Ooh. Some good ones there. It's some good ones. It's some good ones. I don't know about Golden State and Denver. That's going to be a very interesting series.
I gotta see them fully healthy. I gotta see Golden State fully healthy. If Golden State healthy,
I think Steph say he's gonna be back.
He'll be ready for playoffs. Yeah.
You know,
I would love to see that series if Jamal Murray was playing. Lord have mercy. That'd be a series for the ages.
Jamal Murray is gonna make it. I think him and Porter are out.
Yeah, that's gonna be the difference right there. So Joker can't do it by himself. Not against them. Not against that squad. No, he ain't gonna do that. Not for no 7-game series. Maybe in a 1-game scenario, but not for no 7-game series.
Nah, man. So I don't know if he's. Yeah, I don't know if he's coming back. Yeah, I don't know if they're coming back.
Porter Jr. now?
Yeah.
I don't know. Man.
Oh, he's cleared. He got cleared a month ago.
I was about to say,
you know, those back injuries.
He got cleared a long time ago. And Murray's been shooting around, I heard, or thought, or whatever, but
yeah.
I don't think neither one of them are coming back. Could be wrong.
So it's going to be an interesting playoffs. I mean, Denver's been playing really good. That's another team that's constructed really well.
Denver looks
they're constructed really well, man. I mean, Jokic has been holding it down. So,
crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy. Yes, man.
So, all right, we gotta. I guess we'll wait for Mo, and then we're gonna talk about these awards. I think I'm pretty much.
You know what?
The awards are pretty much.
The Lakers are probably the biggest. This Lakers team is probably the
biggest disappointment in franchise history.
No, the biggest disappointment in sports history. Like I would have to really look at certain sports teams.
It's bad, man. It's really
bad. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. But what's
in team sports history?
Do you know that they're the first team that I heard this from Nick Wright. Shout out to Nick Wright. He said this is the first team that at the beginning of the season, Vegas said they were gonna, did numbers to the finals. They had a good chance of making the finals. This is the first time in their history that the team didn't make the playoffs.
I was about to say it has to be something like that. I
it's
knew
crazy.
It was my favorite team, but
it's ridiculous, man.
They had to be. I was just looking at a video of them like taking a picture with all 6 players, Hall of Famers or whatever.
Yeah. LeBron James said, "Why? We're washed." And it's just a lot of. I sent it in the chat, man. I sent it in the chat. I sent it in the chat about the Instagram post about how crappy the Lakers have been. All the trash that was talked at the beginning of the year. But anyway, all right. So, NBA awards. The season does end April 10th. So now, NBA awards. Coach of the year, guys. Who you got?
Monty Williams.
Monty Williams, Phoenix.
I got Taylor Jenkins, man.
Taylor Jenkins?
Taylor Jenkins is done.
Oh, Memphis, yeah, that'd be my second choice.
Yeah,
30,
I think the Billy Donovan, man. I think he's done a phenomenal job with the Bulls, man.
They were
done a phenomenal job.
They were, but I think they fell off.
Yeah, but they still nobody had the Bulls in the playoffs at all.
That's true. I mean, I think,
but you know, yeah.
I think for Phoenix winning the West by how many games they done won it. You know what I'm saying? And I think how good they done on the back end without Chris Paul, I think is why Barney Williams is gonna win this award. Like for you to win the West by double digits, you to win the West by double digits is just crazy.
I think Taylor Jenkins, the job he's done, and his team is 20-3 without John Morant.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's a good
stuff.
They won 17 more games this year than they did last year.
It's definitely gonna be a good race. It's definitely gonna be close. I think that's the closest race.
What's his name? Could be considered too.
I think
Boston's head coach.
Boston's coach,
yeah. Shout out to Bradley. Bradley Cooper. What's his name, man?
Bradley Cooper's an actor, man.
I know, man. The GM for Boston, who Bradley Stevens. Shout out to him because you know he didn't trade Marcus Smart. He got the team together and he hired the coach. So he did a good job. You know what I'm saying?
It started out terrible, but their team is
they started out him and the Raptors, man. I was like, what is going on? But you know, you see it time and time again. All right, this is probably an easy one. Sixth man of the year.
Tyler
Hero, man.
Yeah, gotta be.
He's a beast, man. He's a baller. Yeah. Jimmy Butler said that he was on I think it was The Herd or it was Joy Taylor's podcast, but he was talking about how much he's just been Tyler Hero's not worried about the award. He's just been locked in and wants to win. So that makes a difference. So I think he's just been locked in this year. Yeah. And what we got? Most improved player.
John Morant.
I got John Morant too. I mean, he's electric. He's exciting. I hope people are comparing him to AI. I was like, you gotta slow down. Allen Iverson. The only reason I said Allen Iverson was different because the era that he played in, the way that he played, and for how long he did it.
Right. And also, I mean, I don't know. I'm all about the attributes and all the other stuff. For me, it's about the winning. Like, I feel like still from even a winning standpoint, like he ain't got out of the first round yet. Like Iverson was going like East Conference Finals and been to a finals. Like you
Western Conference Finals too.
Right. Like, like John Morant, have they even given out the first round yet? Like he's even won a playoff series yet?
And his team is winning without him. But that's not here for discuss. I'm just saying to watch the comparisons to Allen Iverson guys. Don't forget Allen Iverson's a beast. Now I do understand the Derrick Rose, but I just hope that
I think that's more better from a
I just hope that he doesn't hope he just, continues to take care of his body. Because sometimes when you that small
you play that aggressive, especially you play that aggressive and that I'm not gonna say he plays reckless, he's a smart kid, but when you play that aggressive at the rim and you play that aggressive, it's a lot more risk for injury.
Yeah, that's all. So all right. This might be easy too, but it might not be. I got a guy, defensive player of the year. I got Mikal Bridges on Phoenix, man. I know he's been playing.
I was going to say Draymond if he stayed healthy, but I think the time that Draymond was out, I think he took over. Dude took over that award.
He plays perimeter well. I think he's a good pick for it. He's the first. Who do you think, Craig?
I got Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart's another one. It's whoever wins is going to be. It's not going to be a center.
Oh no, definitely
it's not. So it might be the first person to win. I think since Kawhi or Draymond, kind of, because Draymond's not really a traditional center.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a smaller guard to win because I think Mikal.
Yeah, now we got word like that because Draymond's not a particular big man. So, but I see what you're saying with it. But yeah.
Yeah. So I like Marcus Smart, man. I think Marcus Smart. I believe he could guard 1 through 5. He's been playing.
I've seen him guard big men before.
He's been playing phenomenal this year. All right, Rookie of the Year.
This is tough.
It's tough.
To me, it's between two people.
Who you got?
My two people are Scotty Barnes and Evan Mobley. But
yeah, I got Evan Mobley, man. But he's been
Scotty Barnes. I'm picking Scotty Barnes.
Scotty Barnes has been balling, man. It's tough. Those both of them. It's gonna be close, but I know Evan Mobley's been out recently, so
yeah. Matter of fact, it's crazy. I was watching NBA Today, and they said Mobley might end up being the best out of the stars that they had so far. They said out of him, Garland, and the other person, they said Mobley might end up being the best out of all.
Might be, man. He might be one of the. He might be one of those guys that are multiple NBA All-Pros and All-Stars. Like he might be. He's really good. They say he's really good. He has a veteran presence. It's sometimes rookies come in for them to be like that. It's very interesting. But Scotty Barnes has been balling, man. So it's gonna be interesting to see who wins. And the final one, MVP.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
I can't. I got him. I got him beat. I just feel like I'm gonna get pride. Yeah, I'm gonna go big man. Yeah. I feel like his numbers.
It's only gonna be a big man to win it.
I get it. His consistency and I would give him this: the consistency and what he's gone through with all the drama there, with like Ben Simmons coming, then he bringing a Harden, then he's going through struggles. He's doing his stuff, the annex or whatever. Like he stayed even killed through all of this and has helped that team be a top 3 seed. I think he should win it. I truly think he should get it.
You know who I'm picking? Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek, the Freak. That's what I'm going with. And it's probably not a surprise. He's just, he's balling, man. He's just one of those players that, like LeBron, like Michael Jordan, like Tim Duncan. I even know Shaq won one and Kobe won one. I put them in this, where you're just the best player and you could win multiple ones. But it could be Jordan, LeBron are the only ones. Well, no, Kareem to win multiple. You know what I'm saying? So like Jordan could have won 8 MVP. Jordan, right?
No, Bird, the only player who won 3 in a row.
Oh, Bird. Oh, Larry Bird too. But like, well, I'm talking about when I say multiple, I'm sorry, like considered, right? Like Michael Jordan could have won 8 straight MVPs. LeBron too. That's what I'm saying. I think Giannis is starting to get into that era.
No, he did say that. I've heard them, they said now it's like he's getting that era where like you can almost put him up there every year to where it's like you can argue for him every year, like
and nobody be mad. Nobody's gonna
get nobody mad.
They're just gonna be like, oh.
But I just truly think. I can even understand Jokic taking it. Yeah, I can even understand Joker getting it because to still win the West with your stars out like that and still put up numbers.
Great, go ahead and say that. Who you got?
The Joker, man. What do you mean?
You got him over Embiid?
I do. Embiid. Joker has
be balling, man. Jokic be balling.
He has nobody there. His next 2 players.
Nobody has substance. Yeah, Aaron Gordon and somebody else.
Second and third best player hasn't been there pretty much all season. Actually, they haven't been there all season.
I have. Right. They have.
So he's pretty much playing by himself. He goes out every night and he tries to put the team on his back. He leads the league in double doubles. He leads the league in triple doubles.
I wouldn't be surprised if he won it.
He doesn't have like the flashy numbers, or he's not a big name like Embiid, but or like even like Giannis. But I think just the fact that he doesn't have the help that those 2 teams have.
Yeah, he's balling.
I can't. Granted, Embiid didn't have a star with him pretty much the whole first half of the season or until the All-Star break, until they traded for Harden. So, yeah, I can understand Embiid being there as well. But, I mean, at least now he has Harden there. Joker doesn't have anybody. So his team isn't – and his team is what they're six, I believe, in the West. So it's not like they're
six. They're six. They're fighting for the fifth spot. They're like one game behind.
This is kind of, I think, where they were at the All-Star break in this sixth position or fifth. They were maybe in fifth or sixth position. So they're pretty much in the same spot that they were in. It's just now, I mean, they can catch Utah. They're probably not going to catch Dallas, but, I mean, they could get the fifth spot. And, I mean, I just think that the team has kind of been put on Jokic's shoulders, and he's been carrying the load.
He has, man. He's been balling, and I think he's good. I mean, actually, I wouldn't be mad if either of them won. Right? I wouldn't be mad. Oh, they say Jamal Murray is ramping up. They say Jamal Murray is ramping up. He's ramping up for a playoff.
I get that, but
I think Michael Porter. I think Michael Porter is ramping up too. He's so I don't know because I think the Nuggets with them too. I
think this race so quick. I mean, this race so quick though. You can argue for all three. You can argue for all three, but you can't be mad at either one of them winning.
Nope.
Like
you can't be mad.
You can't really mad.
You can't be mad if Giannis wins. You can't be mad if Embiid. But I would be a big man.
But I will say this though: the two players that need to be on All Pro team that might not be up for the reward, but they need to be on All Pro or All NBA first team is DeMar DeRozan and Booker. They definitely need to be on All NBA first team.
If you had to pick one, who would you pick?
Booker. And I'm saying that because of the winning. I'm saying that because you're averaging 26, 5-5, and your team is 40-something games over 500. That's just ridiculous.
And a lot of
your team is like 30-something over.
Yeah, a lot of people have them winning the chip. They got.
I want to see Chris Paul win one. Like he the last of the Mohegans that you want to see win. I mean, I always said him and Carmelo and Melo were like, and now Harden. I'll start to put Harden in that mix. Like you've been around long enough, you've been great, but you ain't won one yet.
Harden got.
I think he's up there too. Harden, I think Westbrook is in that conversation, and I think
like greats of this era that haven't won one. Like you've been great, but you haven't won one yet.
Yeah, so it's going to be next season. It's going to be great again because I can only imagine the Clippers are going to be healthy, the Lakers are going to reload, and then the Nuggets are going to be fully healthy. The Mavericks are going to be back. It's going to be the Warriors are going to be probably Clay will probably be really healthy.
He's healthy. Here's my thing though: how long? Hey, let me ask you a question. If you can't bring a second tier player in there, how many more times is Luka gonna get put out of the first round and stay there without making a fuss?
You said who?
Luka. Like how many more times you gonna get put out of the first round before you make a fuss? Like get me out of here.
I don't know. I think when they traded Porzingis, I think they were committed to him. I think Mark Cuban listens to.
Well, I'm saying he want to get a star in there though, but I'm saying he gonna make a fuss. Like how many more times at the end of the day? How many more times you get put out of the first round? Because he been put out 3 straight years? What has been 3 straight years they've been put out the first round?
They got potential. They playing the Jazz. I mean,
that's who put them out. That's who put them out last year, or I think 2 years ago, something like that.
They might.
Last year was the Clippers. The year before that was the Clippers too.
Yeah, the Clippers. I think I think they might be able to beat the Jazz. We'll get to that. All right, Mo. We did the NFC East last time, and we just broke down.
We broke down, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we broke down NFL draft to what each team what they need. So we're doing the North. And we're gonna start with the NFC North. The wonderful Green Bay Packers.
Receiver.
What's their draft needs?
Receiver. No, we can go ahead. We go ahead and start that right now. Receiver.
I think they need.
Are we just saying their biggest need, or are we going through all needs?
All needs. You do all needs.
I mean receiver first. I would put receiver first. O-line, of course. And I would say it wouldn't hurt to add another secondary piece. I know their best corner was hurt last year.
Yeah.
I
think
love
need to after they got
I love dude.
I love dude and Stokes.
it don't hurt to add that third nickel corner. I'm saying as another
Okay.
help, but I definitely would say they top two needs are wide receiver and O-line.
I would give edge rusher because they let go
Yeah.
of Darius Smith.
Yeah, because they lost
Preston Smith, I love him, but I just think he's a little inconsistent.
They lost the other one. They lost their main one though.
Yeah, it's a Darius.
He ended up signing with Minnesota, didn't he?
Yeah,
Was it Minnesota or
I see
Baltimore?
him twice a year.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Yeah. So I never say that. Are we going across the board? One team at a time, everybody.
What about Minnesota? It's over floor. Craig, who you got from Minnesota? We probably answered the ones from Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay, I had pretty much everybody. Wide receiver, edge, and O-line.
That's what I had, yeah.
You said Minnesota?
Yeah.
Let's see what I got on the list. I think I have cornerback.
I got cornerback too.
I got cornerback, I got edge rusher, and I got linebacker.
Yeah, that's what I have. That's what I have too, man. I think they need a corner. I think they haven't had a good corner since. I know Patrick Peterson's coming back since Trey Waynes.
I forgot they signed Smith though, but
yeah, but they still
could always use another edge.
Man, Rhodes. I'm sorry, Rhodes to play for the Colts. Xavier Rhodes. He was a phenomenal number one corner for Minnesota for years. So I think this is a good time for them to. Yeah, I think they're. Yeah, and I think linebacker as well. I think they're good on the offensive side of the ball. You know?
Yeah, I think they're solid on the offensive side.
They're solid on the offensive side, man. They have the receivers, running back. They got good depth at running back. They got the.
They might need a tight end though.
They might.
I think they lost Conklin.
They lost Conklin.
So,
but they probably.
I mean, yeah. We talking about Minnesota, right?
That Shanahan offense uses a tight end.
I'm thinking, tight end, linebacker. I'm thinking tight end, linebacker, another edge rusher.
That's what we said.
I don't think they're that bad in the secondary. I mean, one more corner wouldn't hurt. I mean, Peterson's getting old. They re-signed Peterson, right?
Yeah, he came back.
He came back, but he older. Peterson's like what, in early 30s now, or mid 30s, early 30s. I think he is.
Maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
So I mean, another corner wouldn't hurt. So, but definitely, I would say tight end with that offense they're trying to run. I definitely would say tight end. They good at receiver. You saw that running back. So I definitely would say
I think they need more on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, definitely. Their defense been horrendous. That's why Mike Zimmer got fired, was because of defense. Yeah.
Yeah, he's 31. He's been in the league for a while. Okay.
To be honest with you, outside of O-line, they might be in a situation where Craig, like I were a couple of years ago. I mean, yeah, they might need to go almost all defense and offense.
That's what I was thinking.
Like they might be in that same predicament because that defense has been horrendous the last couple of years.
It has been, and I think you're right. I think in this draft, they just focus on defense.
Right. I think we'll push buttons. It will make people know.
Maybe
like,
a tight end. A tight end.
Maybe a tight end. Yeah, maybe an O-lineman tight end in the late. But
you can find.
You always grab a tight end. Yeah, you find a tight end third, fourth round and be solid. Huh?
What?
Hawks had 40 points in the first quarter.
Oh yeah.
Oh, jeez, ain't crackers. We know Wizards don't play no defense. Come on, man. Hey, listen. A buddy of mine, a mentor of mine, he's a Boston fan. I said, man, how do you score 102 points and still lose by 40? Like, come on, man. What do we really talk about here? You score 102 points and still lose by 40. Something wrong. Something ain't right here. That's just ridiculous.
Chicago Bears.
Everything. Like we missed everything. Let's everything except for quarterback. Let's just run that down the line now. Let's run that down the gamut.
First round pick, so that's gonna be kind of tough.
Yeah, it is.
They need a wide receiver because they just lost Allen Robinson.
Yep,
absolutely.
They need a linebacker, I think, or some type of edge rusher. They lost
need an edge rusher.
What's the dude's name?
O-line. Yeah, they need almost everything.
They lost Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack, damn.
And Akeem Hicks.
Edge rusher, yeah.
And they didn't bring Akeem Hicks too.
Yeah.
I don't know what the GM's doing, but like I feel like they're going the opposite way that teams do because they have Justin Fields, and it's like where is it? Like Colin Cowherd was like, where's their cap space? They should be signing players. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like, if Justin Fields doesn't have a good season, it's like he has no weapons around him. They're asking a lot for a second-year quarterback.
They also don't want to have him like he was last year. Didn't he get sacked like 10 times in the game or something?
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if you want to have him go through that again, but I mean, they haven't really signed any linemen out there. I think they got one guard.
Yes, and he is a defensive-minded head coach. So it's I don't know how that's gonna happen, Chicago fans. All right, Detroit Lions.
Oh my God.
I don't think they need as much as we think
they don't. I would say, all right, so this is the issue right now. And these are the rumors I'm hearing. Let's just go down the line. At the number 2 pick, I've heard edge rusher, I've heard O-lineman, and I've heard quarterback. I've heard rumors.
I think they're gonna go edge rusher.
Yeah. I mean, I think, but if you go edge rusher, do you go to kid from Oregon? Because I would say this: if Jacksonville, for some odd reason, does not draft the kid from Michigan, I think Detroit should run that card up.
They're probably going to draft him. He's been, to be honest, he's shot up the draft boards. He's probably going to go first pick. Hutchinson is probably going to go to first pick.
Yeah. So when you go to Oregon,
Detroit might get the kid from Georgia.
Oh yeah, I heard he's been shooting up the draft boards. Wyatt or one of them. It's either Wyatt or it's one of them.
Yeah, as an edge rusher. So I think they get him or
Thibodeau. I heard Thibodeau. Oh, so I've heard some things about Thibodeau. I heard it's an issue there. I've heard it's a mentality issue there.
Yep.
Like an effort and a mentality issue. Like he said, like when he was talking about being at Oregon, he said something like, "Oh, I'm here for the brand and not winning championships," and that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Like, you're here, like you don't want to win. Like you're here just to make.
Falls off the top 10, but you're right. You're right, Mal. I think he falls. And I've been hearing the same thing. So I think they go edge rusher. And
I heard Thomas Shea did a mock draft just a few like today. I was watching the NFL Sports Center special, and they were talking about them possibly jumping back in the first round late to get either Ritter or
Matt Corral.
Matt Corral.
Yeah, I saw that.
You get that 5th-year option. You get that 5th-year option. So they were saying that's a possibility they might jump back in to get it because they don't really trust. They don't really trust what's name. They don't really trust. They don't really trust golf as far as a long-term option.
I wouldn't.
All right, that's fair.
I
listen.
I wouldn't get
Charles,
quarterbacks. I would ride it out because if you have a high pick next year, you could draft a good quarterback.
Listen, Charles, I just seen Charles Davis mock draft. I said, "Oh man, Craig gonna jump off the Craig gonna get off the Zoom."
Hold on, which one? Did I just saw that? Wait, hold on.
He just did one yesterday.
Was it Malik Willis?
Yeah, he said Carolina gonna get Malik Willis with that pick. I said Craig gonna jump off.
Well, Craig, this is what Craig said. He said if it is a quarterback,
right,
he wouldn't mind Willis, I think, but he just doesn't like Willis that high.
Right, that high.
The quarterbacks that high, but I mean, it's like they still have $30 million in cap space, and they haven't signed a left tackle. Like if they get a left tackle in free agency, somebody Dwayne Brown or somebody like that,
then you respect it.
I can respect them taking a quarterback, even though I would like them to take whatever. But I could have a little. I wouldn't be mad at it. But I think if they go take a quarterback just to take a quarterback right now,
I don't think they should. I mean,
they did get the offensive line better than what it was last year, but
I don't think they should get a quarterback. That's just. I don't think no quarterback.
I don't know.
I don't think any quarterbacks are worth a first round grade. That's just me. But I might be wrong. I like Willis, and I like Ritter, but I don't think they're first round grades. All right, AFC, Cincinnati Bengals.
I mean, they've addressed the offensive lineman. I still would draft 1 or 2 later.
I think they need a corner.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, secondary. I think another edge rusher. I think one more D tackle inside, maybe, or maybe a linebacker. But they on the offensive side of the ball, the only thing they should draft is offensive lineman. You don't need no receiver. You don't need no quarterback.
They're getting kind of. I think they signed two. So
I still would get some young dudes too, though, in there, like at least one or two in there.
Yeah.
But I'm not. But I'm talking about later rounds. I wouldn't take my early picks on that now.
Yeah. You
But
talking about?
I think early picks they'll get. I think early picks they should definitely go corner.
Yeah.
Maybe one more corner. I like their safety. The one they franchise
this is a
tag.
draft where they could probably get a starter
Right.
with a corner.
Right, definitely.
Right, that's what I was thinking. And
Maybe one more linebacker. I mean, you can't go wrong with another edge rusher to go with the dude they had. Can't go wrong with another edge. You can't have enough edge rushers, so you can't go wrong with that.
Can't go wrong with the edge rusher. Craig, Baltimore Ravens, what's up, man? What their draft needs?
O-line.
I still picked a wide receiver for them.
Yeah, receiver.
I picked a wide receiver too.
Edge rusher. Yeah, edge rusher.
Yeah, I picked wide receiver, yo. Would you be? I've seen a lot of mock drafts of them getting offensive linemen. Would you be surprised if they draft like a receiver? You know how the Cowboys did with CeeDee Lamb? So say like Chris Olave like drops to them, which I don't see. He's been rising on the draft boards, or Drake London. Do you think they draft?
Yeah, that's type they need. They need a receiver where they can move Hollywood Brown around. Hollywood Brown does not need to be on the outside the whole game. He's not that. He's not that. Like you're wasting him. Like you need to be able to move him around, put him in the slot, motion him into the formation. You need to do stuff like that. Putting him on the outside, just line them up. You're wasting him because he's not that. He's shown that in the NFL. Maybe in college he was that, but in the NFL he's shown he's not getting off jams like that. He's not blowing the top off on the outside as much as you thought he was going to do. He did in the beginning when he first came into the league, but since people figure stuff out, he's not doing it.
Would you be surprised if they go receiver?
Nah, I wouldn't be surprised. I would go receiver or offensive lineman, unless it's just an edge rusher that you can't resist. That somebody who just came on the board.
I see a lot. I see them getting a lot. I see them getting. You know what I saw? They got the center from Iowa. At the I don't know. I think they got. I don't know what pick they have, but
they have 14.
Yeah,
Ravens?
They got 14. That center from Iowa. I feel like they're getting an offensive lineman. All right, Pittsburgh Steelers.
O-line.
What's their draft needs? You think they go the quarterback?
They need a quarterback too, but I mean they have
Mr. Trubisky, right?
I just don't know how much they're sold on him. I don't know.
Do you rock with him for 1 year? I mean, I see a lot of mock drafts where if Willis falls to them, they draft him.
I probably roll with it for a year.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't take my first round. If I'm Pittsburgh, I wouldn't take my first round pick at quarterback. Like I just wouldn't. I mean, you got other needs, especially if you. I feel like for you to do that, it's like why bring in Mitchell Trubisky? You could have just kept Dwayne Haskins and Mason Rudolph and just still draft the quarterback. But for you to bring in Trubisky and then still draft quarterback in the first round, I don't see that. I mean, if you draft a quarterback maybe second, third, fourth, cool, and then you tell Mason Rudolph and Dwayne Haskins, hey, look it, y'all competing for who out the door. Like, I'm sorry. Like, yeah, hey, listen, y'all compete for who out the door. But I feel like you have too many needs.
Yeah,
you got too many needs to sit there and draft a quarterback first round. Like, y'all got too many other needs. Your O-line.
That's true. O-line.
Like your O-line horrendous, and you got an all-pro caliber back that you're going to end up wasting if you don't improve the offensive line.
So they could, which would be smart, Mo, because they do have three quarterbacks. You're right? It would be best if they concentrated. They probably could do their first two picks O-line.
Yeah, and then you get a quarterback in the third, fourth round, and you let Haskins and Mason Rudolph know, like, listen, y'all competing for who gonna be third string or second string, or who gonna be out the door. Hey, listen, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna keep it a buck right now.
You can still get a quality quarterback in the second or third round in this draft, I think.
Hey, man, it's gonna be at least two or three teams gonna reach for a quarterback. It's gonna be like three quarterbacks gonna go first round. We're gonna look like why? Like what? Huh? Like
we'll be live. I
I see. As long as we don't do it.
Oh,
As long as we don't do it, I'm gonna lose my mind. I might log off. Man, y'all gonna be like, "Where Mo go?" I'm sorry.
nah,
I'm gonna log off. I just can't do it. Not at 11 when we got this draft is too talented and we have too many needs to draft a quarterback at 11. Like for what?
it's crazy.
I want a quarterback. I mean, I want a wide receiver or O lineman. I mean, I wouldn't be necessarily mad at the safety from Notre Dame. I wouldn't be mad at that. I'll take that. I can accept that.
Yeah, well, it's coming up Thursday, April 28th. All
Who
right.
left? The Browns?
Yeah, the Browns. They're rich.
You know, wide receiver to me. Unless they re-sign Jarvis.
Jarvis Landry.
Nah, they released him right now. They ain't re-signed him yet. They released him.
Might.
Right?
I'm saying unless they go back and re-sign him. I don't know if they. I heard they was talking about it, but
him. I'm trying to think. They still got the corner from Ohio State, right? He's their number one corner, right? The young dude.
Yeah.
He only been 4 years, right? Denzel Ward has been all right. He's been pretty solid. I don't know who the other outside corner.
They're one of those teams that they have a really good team, man.
Right. It's just adding. Like a lot of these dudes outside of receiver position, a lot of stuff you're gonna add. Because offensively, you don't need no running back. You don't need a running back.
No,
you don't really need. I mean, unless you want to, you don't really need quarterback. I mean, maybe some depth on O line, but the O line is one of the best in the league when they healthy.
Yeah.
You don't need. I mean, tight end. You got a young tight end already. That's good. You don't really need a tight end. You got 2 tight ends. Matter of fact.
Yeah.
No, they traded the other one. I think.
No, they released Hooper.
Yeah. So defensively, I mean, you may go D tackle. You might get another linebacker or whatever. But secondary wise, they've been drafting pretty well. Like they've been drafting pretty well in the secondary.
Yeah, they one of those teams like we were doing the Bills. It's like,
right.
dude, I mean, they're going to be drafted for a want, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of their draft now is probably for depth. A lot of this thing is for depth. A lot of this draft for them is going to be outside of receiver position is going to be for depth and like just adding some depth to your certain spots.
They're going to be drafting. I'm sorry, not a want, guys.
Oh yeah,
best player available versus need.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, some teams like Tampa, Buffalo, Cleveland. Kansas City's gonna have a great draft. I can't wait to get to them. Kansas City's gonna have a great draft, man. They got 12 picks. They're gonna even if they hit on 4 of those picks, that's gonna be considered a great draft. So they're gonna, and they I think they draft pretty good. So this is gonna be very interesting. So, well, guys.
Lord have mercy. Hey, the Knicks out here blowing. Lord,
they are.
The Knicks out here, they blowing the Nets out by 17. And KD them on the floor. I don't know what's going on. Maybe the Knicks
make a comeback, but I mean, it's just like, why are you putting yourself in these situations where you got to make a comeback in the second half? They did that against Detroit a few weeks ago. Yeah. Detroit is terrible.
Detroit is terrible.
Why are you losing to them? They're probably. I've seen the Knicks. The last time they played the Nets, or one of the last times, they had like a 28-point lead and they blew it at home.
Hey, hold on, I'm about to look right quick. Hold up, right quick, y'all.
I'm not even going to sit here and just say a 17-point lead is.
Hold up, fast. Hold on, one. Hold up, 1, 2. Hey, Charles Davis only got 3. He got 3 quarterbacks going in the first round in his mock draft.
I wasn't paying attention. He had Matt Corral to Detroit.
Right. He had what's dude's name?
Malik Willis.
Yeah, and he had Pickett going to
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
I saw that, was like, Well, listen, if they sign Dwayne Brown, Craig's not going to be really angry. Because if they get Malik Willis, I'm not going to lie, I just don't think they should get him that high. But he'll sit behind Donald for a year.
I don't know what.
But here's the thing: do you still stay with? I don't know, because here's the thing: do you still stay with Matt Rule?
No. He's got to go, unless something dramatic happens where they make the playoffs or something crazy like that happens.
And then your next coach has to buy in with Willis. Yeah,
I mean,
because if y'all draft him at 6, yeah.
if Rule's not there, yeah, they're gonna have to buy in. Or
here's what I would do.
I would assume that if you're gonna hire a coach, that you would discuss that before you actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. I don't want to say this, Craig, but I'm gonna say it. I think y'all should not draft a quarterback this year. Draft a tackle. Draft really good depth pieces on defense and offense. Suck this year. Fire Matt Rule. Bring in a head coach and bring in their quarterback.
Hey, let me tell you this. One thing
I'm serious, man. I think that. Unfortunately, Craig, you would probably like that because of the reset.
Hey, this is one thing I seen in this mock draft. This happened
in 2 years. You'll be good.
Yeah, I said that I've been saying that. Like this, they're not going to be good this year. So why not just be?
Why not build depth?
Try to get a quarterback. I mean, I don't think they're going to be bad enough to get one of the top 2 guys coming out next year, but maybe there's somebody there, the 3rd best quarterback or the 4th best quarterback.
I think it's going to be a good quarterback draft. Yeah, they're talking about 4 or 5 guys.
So I don't know, man. This is the team is not going to be good. So and they don't have another pick till round 4. So.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Those picks were Sam Darnold.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
And Gilmore.
Yeah, I forgot about him too. And then they let him go, so got him for nothing basically. But I don't know, man. This draft is probably going. Was it 3 weeks away?
3 weeks.
I don't see the Panthers doing something dumb. And if they pick Pickett over, I don't really know who's better or whatever. You don't really know until they actually go on the field and play.
People saying Pickett is.
I mean, I just think they're going to pick. If they were going to pick a quarterback, I think it would probably be Pickett just because of the ties, like I've been saying, that the owner has with Pittsburgh. And then he went to Pitt as the college. He went there. Pickett's from Pitt. So, I mean, there's something.
And Pickett, they're saying is NFL ready. I just don't think he's worth the 6th pick. That's just me, man.
I don't think any quarterback is worth the 6th pick. I don't think any quarterback this class is coming up is worth the top 10.
Nope.
I think if you reach outside that, I think you might be okay, and I can think you can justify it. But I mean, if you're just going to pick a quarterback just because you need a quarterback, like Seattle or Carolina, or maybe even like the Giants don't need a quarterback, but I mean, I can understand why they might think about taking
the Giants are waiting till next year. They're like, I think
they're gonna do one year because with it's too much talent, and when you got 2 picks in the top 10, they can really upgrade their roster now. And then you go through this year, and then you get a quarterback because I think that'd be the best move for them. It's too much time in this draft to pass up and get a quarterback in the top 10 who's not gonna be ready now, who's not going to really develop. You know what I'm saying? So, and this quarterback class, it's not like it's a quarterback that's worth. No disrespect to any of these quarterbacks, but it's not really a quarterback that's worth risking on the top 10 and thinking you're going to develop them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. I'm telling you, man, if I was an NFL GM, I would do what the Seahawks are doing. Like NFL, you can't say you're tanking, right? Right? You can because the Dolphins said it, but they were trying to get Tua or Burrow. But if you're like the Seahawks, I'm not drafting a quarterback. I'm drafting a great player. If I'm the Giants, I'm not drafting a quarterback. I'm not. If I'm Carolina, I'm not. We're going to see what's up. Because if Carolina doesn't draft a quarterback, they're going to be bad anyway. Right? Seahawks don't draft a quarterback, they're going to be bad anyway. You might as well just wait. Detroit's going to be better than they were this year, and so is Jacksonville. So y'all have a chance. Unfortunately, you don't want to go through this as a fan, but you have a chance to get one of the top 2 quarterbacks coming out. And teams always trade. Teams always want to trade. You know,
the team pick a quarterback and then he doesn't have a left tackle. Like, what is the point? You're just going to get the quarterback hurt because they're going to start booing Sam Darnold or whoever, and then they're going to want him to get swapped out with whoever the top 6 pick or whoever the 6th pick is. He's just going to get blasted. I mean, I get he has to come in there and learn the game and all that stuff and whatever, but I just think it would probably be better to me to have a left tackle and have Sam Darnold behind the left tackle. Maybe he'll I don't know. He's not going to be better. He can't be any worse than what he was last year, but maybe he'll do something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's terrible, man. It's bad.
I mean, just like with the football team, Mo, I'm gonna be honest, man. If we draft a receiver, I'm not gonna be mad.
No, I'm not. No, I said that if we go receiver or offensive line, I'm not mad. If we go secondary, I would only want. If we go secondary that high, I would only want the kid from Notre Dame.
Oh yeah, I saw Davis mock draft had us getting.
Yeah, say that. Yeah, I'm cool with that pick. But
I
honestly,
think we have a chance to get a good pick at 11.
Yeah, I think right there. If we stay right there, I would want either a receiver or like let me say this: if we get a receiver, he needs to start at the number 2 position day one. I don't want to hear about fighting for spot and all that. No.
If we get Olave, if we have Olave and McLaurin, that's gonna be tough. It's gonna make Carson Wentz look like a decent quarterback.
Pace yourself, man.
we'll end up like Corey.
No, listen, but Corey
said.
Now this is the thing, though. I think we need to beat the offensive lineup because Wentz will be better with play action. Wentz ain't that type to just drop back no more and throw the ball 30, 40 times unless we doing short throws with the tight ends and those short intermediate throws. He's not gonna go out there and wow you throwing the ball around the barn like that.
But we'll see. I think they're gonna go receiver. I'm not mad if they go receiver. Second round, maybe O-line. But I'm not mad. And if Carson Wentz, if I predict what I think is gonna happen and we're gonna win a division, then I think Carson Wentz can bring him back.
We went.
I just think Dallas lost too much.
But I think Dallas did lose a lot, and they didn't.
Really I just don't. We talked about this last week. I still don't understand the Amari Cooper. I don't get it.
Hey, but let me say this though. Let me say this. They put
Cedric Wilson. I don't get that either.
Hey, let me put it like this. They put with the all season moves they done made and the things that happened this all season. They basically put McCartney in a trip bag. Like he gonna be fired, but it's like with the roster they have right now, you giving him a shot to meet the expectations that you're gonna set this year.
Yeah.
Like you're pretty much got him as a lamed up coach because he don't have the roster for the expectations. I mean, if your expectation is win a playoff game and get the NFC Championship game or compete for a championship right now with that roster, no, sir. You barely trying to win a division with that roster right now.
I mean that roster is. I really don't understand you're trying to win without Amari Cooper is not like
unless you got an inconsistent running game and then you're trying to win it and then you're trying to you're trying to win with your best 2 receivers being CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup. No disrespect to them,
but they're not winning. He's going to be here for the whole year either. Remember, he got hurt.
If there was a year to actually go in and do something for Dallas and have the actual chance, this would have been a year because the NFC is down. So
this would have been a perfect
not to actually go all out and to get all these guys or whatever the case may be. They didn't throw enough money. They traded whatever it is. Whatever reason they didn't get guys to come there this year for the first time in what seems like a while. They always seem like Dallas is one of the biggest attractions. So for them not to get anybody in this year, and I don't know, man, because this could have been their year to actually be for Cowboys fans to finally say we're going to the Super Bowl and everybody believes it, or for the most part, a lot of people believe it because have a roster that's going to justify that along with the weak NFC. But they couldn't even do that.
You're right.
I think it's either going to be Washington or Philly winning that division. I don't know about Dallas, man. They made unless they the draft or do something.
No, they're gonna get an O-line in the draft. Probably.
I mean, it's no moves. It's no moves that they can make in this draft that really will put them above because
it's not.
Because even if you get a receiver, even if they get like a Olave or
they gotta get an O-line.
They gotta get an O-lineman. So it's like a lot of the receivers that could really make a difference for them, they're not gonna be able to get in that first round pick that they so much need an offensive lineman. So a lot of them receivers are gonna come off the board. They can still get a decent receiver. But nobody that's going to scare us. Nobody I'm going to lose sleep over Like, oh, we got game plan for him. Nah.
I want to go back before we get off. I want to go back to what Craig said. I do like that. I'm not even gonna lie.
Right.
If Dallas had the same team they had last year,
Right.
going into this year,
right,
it would be a different talk because Russell Wilson is now, in Denver, and Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't think he comes back. But you see how the NFC is a lot weaker.
Yeah.
So it could have been, a big year for Dallas, but not this year.
And then you got Brady coming back too. So that way, I mean, that pretty much, even if they were like a top 3 team, now they're 4th.
Yep.
I mean, and Green Bay lost pretty much their second best player. Actually, they lost 2 of the top 3 players, in my opinion, or something like top 5, I guess you want to call it. They lost 2 of those guys. So I mean, then you had the Rams, still the Rams, but they're not going to have OBJ. But they at least they got and they lost Robert Woods, but at least they got Robinson.
They got Robinson and Bobby Wagner.
Bobby Wagner, right? Yeah. But I mean, like this was Dallas's year to actually do something.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I no disrespect to Aaron Rodgers, but I think the pressure has to be on this first year coach to win. I think honestly, right now, like not even no matter the draft, unless it gotta be something crazy in this draft. I think Minnesota the favorite in the North.
I can see that.
I know people want to say I'm crazy for that, but when you lose a Devontae Adams, you lose your top 2 receivers, and I'm
nobody's
right now
gonna say you're crazy, Bo. It's a lot of people saying that.
I'm looking at this. Let me tell you this. And this not even be funny right now. I'm being real serious. Y'all gonna look at me like, what? If Aaron Rodgers right now with what that roster is offensively, if they win more than 10 games, if they win more than 11 games, it don't need to be no award show. Aaron Rodgers need to be MVP.
I believe that.
If they win more than 11, and the only reason I'm saying 11 instead of 10 is because that division is still kind of bad. You still gonna get 4 wins off the Bears and Lions. You gonna get 4 wins off the Bears and Lions.
Rodgers, if they win 11 to 12 games with this,
he got to be MVP. With that roster, he got to
get MVP again. He will. Craig, you believe that?
Somebody going to have a stupid season.
I'll have to see his numbers.
Now, that's fair, but I'm saying because of it's Aaron Rodgers, because of what we know he is.
Say he puts out really good numbers.
He puts out the same numbers he put out.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's say you do that.
Things go down.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's tough not to give it to him.
He got to be in the top 2. I don't know what any other quarterback is going to be doing. Yeah. Especially like Josh Allen or Justin Herbert or
Mahomes.
It's gonna be kind of tough with this roster the way it is now, especially if they don't go out and they don't draft a wide receiver or they don't trade for.
They going to get a receiver this first round. They going to get a receiver this first round.
You know what? I'm not even gonna sit there and say they are because
I don't know.
No, I'm not saying that. I said. Listen, if they don't, I might log off. That might be another. I'm like, what are y'all doing? I'm like, what are y'all doing? Like,
because they have 2 picks, so they
haven't drafted a receiver in the first round. I think since 2002 or something like that.
Who did they get in the first round?
He took what was the receiver's name? I had it. Man, I can't.
It wasn't Jordy Nelson. It's not Jordy Nelson.
No.
It's not.
I think
it's not Driver. It's not.
I'm going to it right now.
Oh man, I just looked it up not too long ago. Javon Walker, that's who it was.
Javon Walker. Yeah, they had Mike Sherman as a head coach. Wow.
2002. Yeah, Javon Walker. He turned out to be a bust, but whatever.
So they're gonna see because they have 2, so they'll be able to. They can get an O-line and a receiver. So we'll see. But nobody's calling you crazy if a lot of people are, because they lost MVS and they lost. I think MVS probably hurts more than Devontae. I mean, the reason is because once Devontae is gone, he was like, okay, MVS. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not too bad, but MVS is now gone. It's like, oh man. Because I think MVS is going to fit really good in Kansas.
Listen. if this happens, Buffalo gonna be retarded, man. Because the dude ain't got to play right now. He can just get healthy. They talking about the receiver from Alabama falling to Buffalo. I said, oh my God. I said, Lord have mercy.
Which I don't.
The one Williams.
Buffalo can draft who they want to.
Yeah, they stacked right now. It's like best available player. Like you won't need.
They could get him and wait because they just signed Diggs. We can talk about that. Let's talk about that right before we head out of here, man.
Oh yeah.
Diggs,
I mean,
he deserved it, right?
Yeah, well deserved. His stats. After looking at stats when y'all posted it, I'm looking. I thought he already deserved it, but I ain't really looking at his stats. I'm like, yeah, he definitely deserved it. Like that. He been putting up good numbers. He been putting up great numbers since he got
had to though. I think they
because of the market. Yeah, it's and that's why I'm worried about.
Keep your quarterback happy.
Oh, absolutely.
Keep your quarterback happy, man.
That's his favorite target. That's his. I mean, I know the other dude emerged during the Kansas City game, but most of the time in clutch time, he gonna go to Diggs.
It's Diggs. Diggs all day.
Yeah.
It's Diggs, man, and they have a rapport. And Diggs is a good. He's a really good.
He's solid. Yeah, he's a solid. He's a solid.
He's a top five. I think he's a top 5 receiver in the NFL.
He's a solid Curtis guy. You don't hear nothing about him. You don't hear nothing negative in the locker room.
You don't think so, Craig?
You don't think he's top 5? I don't know about top 5. He said, I don't know about top 5. Ain't it?
He might be top 5.
He might be top 5. Jalen Ramsey came out with top 5. He said Devontae Adams. He did put Odell on there.
What? Okay, you know what? I mean,
he said Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams.
You know what? I am gonna put him in there.
Who else?
Justin Jefferson,
Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, Devontae Parker. You got I think Stephon Diggs. Oh no,
Adams.
Devontae Adams. Devontae Parker. I think Stephon Diggs was kind of
Jefferson, Adams, Hill, and either Cup or maybe Chase or
Chase probably if Chase ain't in the top 5, he at 6.
I gotta see Cup do it. I gotta see Cup and Chase do it. Everybody in the top 5 is consistent. You gotta get
They did it multiple years. Everybody else you got to run it back. I gotta see you again.
And then hopefully D-Hop's healthy, so we gotta see him. He was in the top 5 for a while. So
yeah. I forgot about him.
Damn. We got Hell no, Ramsey didn't put him in his top 5. And I think
right out of mind, man, he hasn't played
He hasn't played. I don't think he was healthy last year.
He was hurt.
Which is his first time. He usually is pretty healthy. He'll probably come back for a strong year. But yeah, I think you had to pay Diggs, man. You know?
Because the market, the production in the market, and a lot of these other receivers now waiting back. Like
he gonna retire Buffalo, man. Because I think Stephon Diggs is 25.
And I'm gonna tell you who benefiting the most from this. Now he only in he about to go into his 3rd year. Jordan Jefferson, Jefferson, a lot of them they looking back like that. Like, all right, look at the market now, and I've been balling. I'm gonna sit back for another year or 2, and I'm gonna make this bread.
Yep.
Diggs is 28. But
28. He signed for 5 years.
Yeah. I know McLaurin coming up next. McLaurin I'm up next. I'm on the next 2 to 3 get paid.
I
don't know if we get that.
Pay McLaurin now $20 million.
Yeah.
Need to pay him now. You need to pay him now before it goes. If he balls out next year,
if he go over 1,200 next year, you had.
You gonna have to pay him
because he gonna be like, I'm out. He gonna be like, yep, I'm out to get that real money. He said, nope, you messed up. Y'all should sign me right now.
And they need to sign him. I mean, if the price goes up in the NFL, if you wait to sign, the price goes up. It's like Fat Joe said. Today's price is not yesterday's price. It goes up, and that's what it is. So he's getting paid. How much is he getting paid? He signed a 4-year.
I would put him kind of around the same area as DJ Moore, but I'll put him a little bit above DJ Moore, and DJ Moore just got 18, pretty much 18 a year.
What, McLaurin?
Yeah,
I'll put him around 18, 20. But Craig, I'm just saying pay him now.
Yeah.
Because I don't even want to deal with it. Like,
that's why I'm glad Carolina
did it early.
The extension for Diggs. I mean, not Diggs. Moore.
Oh yeah.
Plus, he's still young. He's like 24, 23, 24 or something.
Shoot, I remember when Steve Smith said, this might be the best receiver to come in here since I left. He said Carolina been looking to get a receiver in here since I left.
Yeah, that's
during that draft. I'm like,
they had Kelvin Benjamin, and he was even the year they went to the Super Bowl, he wasn't even there all year.
Yeah, he made a couple plays, but he wasn't no dominant. He wasn't like
DJ Moore.
And that year was retarded though. Carolina was retarded that year. Y'all went like 15-1 that year, didn't y'all, correct?
Yeah, they lost the last game of the season to the Falcons.
Yeah, I said, Lord have mercy. I said, this squad, hey.
Oh, it didn't come out. It signed a 4-year. So he got a $21 million signing bonus, and he gets 70 guaranteed. He gets 2020. It didn't come on sporadic yet, but he gets an annual salary of $26 million. So I'm looking up on he'll be an unrestricted free agent 2028.
What, DJ Moore?
Stephon Diggs. But they won't let me sporadic. It's not on sporadic yet. Probably because he just signed it. You know, I look up all the contract details on sporadic.com. And it'll break down how much money's like guaranteed, what's the cap hit every year, the yearly cash, the dead cap, the base salary. It breaks down all that. But it didn't do that yet because I think it just happened. So I don't think sporadic broke it down yet. It just happened today, right? Yeah, it didn't break 14 hours ago. That's what when people sign contracts, always I look up sporadic because it'll break down like the extension, what's the dead cap hit, what's the guaranteed money. So it's pretty cool. I've been doing that for a minute. But some of that, I think this is gonna be a really good NFL season.
Oh yeah, it's definitely crazy. Like this next, like it's so many divisions that got so like the AFC gonna be like you gonna have 2-3 just really solid teams just not make it because the AFC gonna be so stacked. Like almost every game is going to be critical. Like even in the beginning of the season, it's gonna be like that loss gonna hurt. Like you get an early season loss and it's gonna hurt because it's like dang, like
an early season loss to somebody like if you're the Chiefs or Buffalo to Jacksonville is gonna matter.
Yeah.
You
know, because those conference records and them tiebreakers is gonna hurt.
People like, damn, they get the number 1 seed. I gotta go to Kansas City again.
Yeah. Hey,
don't want to end up.
Hey, Sean.
Don't want to end up in that situation, no matter the overtime.
Hey,